How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a live stream. A live stream of Dungeons & Dragons. What was supposed to be episode 13 of the Homebrewers is now me DMing part 2 of our Fairnight one-shot series, which is going to be part 2 of 2 because that's literally it. Anyway, it became a 2-part one-shot, so it's a 2-shot, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, as always, well, I'm not always the host, but as always, I am Greg, and tonight I will be serving as your Dungeon Master. Well, their Dungeon Master. And my 2 players tonight, I'm also going to be playing a player character as well. Our 2 players tonight, we've got May. Say hello.
Hello.
And we got Mira. Say hello. Give a quick shout out to May almost dropping her fucking D4 over there. It's pretty great.
Add a D4.
Add a D4. This is Clippy here. Add a D4. Shout out to Nazar in the chat that's saying hello, hey, hi.
I see you're trying to cast Fireball.
Add a D4. Add a D4, my guys. So, it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. I'm nervous. I kind of had to speed up the work on this one shot just because of, this was supposed to happen in April because Chrissy was going to be working Ren Fair in April and May, but then coronavirus happened. We're all on lockdown. We had to postpone episode 13, and we're just kind of here. We're just hanging out. We got to follow. It's pretty fucking great and all that fun stuff. But I do want to say thank you, everyone, for being patient. We put out a new Hardest Reset video, which was great, and we're here to do part 2 of this one shot. Now, I do want to kind of say something before we get started. I'm going to be DMing a special way because May over here, and I'll show May right on over here, you know, D&D's not your thing, but you've been gracious with your time with us. You've given it a chance, and even though it's not really your thing, you said, I'll hop in the saddle one last time, get this all taken care of and whatnot. So tonight's one shot is going to be done a special way. While in general D&D sessions and general campaigns, the RP will generally be a lot more open. It would be a lot more open world. Some things are going to be streamlined. There's still going to be a lot of choices. It's still very much going to be Dungeons and Dragons, but in an effort to streamline some things, not have things drag on, and to keep May's attention, some things are going to be streamlined. And I want to kind of just put that up front for anyone who's maybe like a hardcore D&D fan that's like, man, you didn't let the RP happen, etc., etc. I'm tailoring this game to cater the party that I currently have right now. And also, I have to play a character and like a bunch of fucking NPCs, and my camera went blurry anyway. But it's all good. It's called
Homebrew for a reason.
It's called Homebrewers for a reason, and fuck me, there are a lot of homebrews. So, without further ado, let's get the music. I can't hold all these homebrews. So, without further ado, let's jump into our story. Where our previously... man.
That's John Phonics.
Oh, man. I'm fucked up immediately.
The music just grinds to a halt.
Probably wondering how we got here. Anyway.
Freeze frame.
Yeah, right? Freeze frame. Take 2.
Chat, take the wheel.
Yeah, right? Chat, take the wheel. Where our previous story left us. Fuck me. 3rd time's a charm. I never had this much issue. Alrighty. So in our last story, our trio of adventurers, whether by divine calling or in need of some more coin, were contracted by the Ivanoran Crest to rid the town of Ivanora of its vampire problem. The last remaining member of the Fairnight family, Lord Emery Fairnight, who according to the head of the Ivanoran Crest, General Ryland Hall, has been terrorizing the town and their citizens and needed to be slain at once. After traversing through various labyrinths and puzzles before gaining entrance to the manor proper, our paladin, Na'ria, had her faith and morals truly tested in an effort to be deemed worthy to enter the chamber where Lord Emery resided in. Upon entering, it was discovered, thanks to some incredible investigation work by our party here, that one of our party members, Ashrin, had a deep history with the manor and Lord Emery Fairnight, once being his lover before being ripped away from the local clergy and having her memory wiped. And it was also learned that our cleric, that I had to play, Rinnill, was originally a part of that clergy that ripped Ashrin away, but was too cowardly to perform the memory wipe, and thus was banished shaking his faith in his old god before finding hope and comfort in a new one, which led him back to Ivanora in order to make things right. Lord Emery, who was greatly wounded in a prior assault on the manor, pled with the party to show that he was not the villain, but it was the Crest themselves, who eventually became to be revealed as a group of Lycan, who wanted to exterminate all of the damn peers in this town once and for all. While General Hall and the 2 guards attempted to ambush the group, a quick fireball from our cleric and a really quick and incredible fight from our party, General Hall and his guards were struck down, allowing Ashrin, with her memories now intact, to be reunited with her lover, and our paladin and cleric return to collect their reward. And thanks to some quick deception by Na'ria over here, the treasurer of the Ivanoran Crest didn't even bat an eye as the 2 were paid and sent on their way not to think of this ever again. Or so they thought. Our current story begins on the 45th night of the winter solstice, right on the outskirts of the gates of the Fairnight Manor. It has only been 90 days since the slaying of Lord Emery Fairnight, but as all deception plots usually fare, the truth is eventually found out, which has led to this moment unfolding in front of the Fairnight Manor. You see, while it was alleged by Na'ria Berdwin and Rinnill Hunneth 90 days prior that Lord Emery was in fact slain, and that they had no idea what happened to General Ryland Hall and where he had disappeared to. And while this story was initially believed by the lower ranks of the Ivanoran Crest, the story would eventually catch the ear of General Hall's second-in-command, Lady General Cara McCann. In her eyes, being privy to General Hall's true intentions and relations to the Fairnight contract, there was something in Na'ria and Rinnill's story that wasn't adding up, and thus an investigation began. After a lengthy investigation which eventually led the Crest to learn about the truth of what happened at the Fairnight Manor on that fateful fall evening, a small army of around 45 guards crowd the outer gates, standing in formation. In the distance, surrounding the other sides, more and more and more guards, ready to take this manor down, ready to do whatever it takes. I forgot this part in the fucking outline. Basically, while there are 45 guards standing on the outside of the main gate, various other Ivanoran Crest are slowly closing in on the manor from all directions. They are led at the front gate by the Lady General herself, who is a tall human female, strong build, blonde hair, piercing yellow eyes, and lightly tanned skin. She stands clad in silver armor and with a deep gold trim, along with the golden symbol of the Ivanoran Crest, a hammer holding a fist holding a hammer, impressed upon the breastplate of her armor. She stands there at the gate, surveying the desolate courtyard ahead of them, as another soldier rushes beside her. This time, a male human, short brown hair, piercing yellow eyes, a deep scar on his left eye that stretches from the top of his forehead all the way to just right at his upper lip, where it gives way to a small patch of lightly tanned skin amongst a thick brown beard that adorns his face. His armor, which shines the same silver base as the Lady General, is outlined in deep blue trim instead of her gold. He clears his throat as she turns to face him. "Everything's in position, ma'am. We are ready to tear this place down." "Thank you, Lieutenant Muckley." "Men, stand in formation. Tonight, we show these traitors what happened when you try to play the Crest for fools. Tonight, Fairnight and his supporters from the slums burn to the fucking ground, as they should have months ago." Behind her, you hear a loud chanting, "For the Crest! For General Hall! And for the good of the Ivanoran people!" Now, to truly understand why we got to this situation, this is literally the pause of you're probably wondering how we got here. We need to go back to about a fortnight after the initial contract was taken. Contract was taken. Here in the slums of Ivanora, we find 2 familiar faces, Na'ria and Rinnill. They find themselves in the equivalent of a musky dive bar named the Fair Lady Inn. And now, Fair Lady Inn. Now, the Fair Lady Inn is a place where generally the ruffians of the Ivanoran slums resides. And tonight it is business as usual. The usual suspects are here, and you'll recognize this. A tiefling bard, Nicholas Song, sings his songs in the center of the bar. A half-elf bartender, Warmedi, serves drinks to patrons approaching. And a massive half-orc is sitting amongst a group of varied individuals, ranging from dwarves to furbolgs. Said half-orc seems to be the center of attention, or at least the one that everyone recognizes. As he keeps the conversations with those who approach him. And then, in the far left corner of the inn, we spot our familiar drow and wood elf, in mid-drink, discussing the current state of affairs. They feel like all eyes are on them, although they cannot point out who exactly is looking their way. Na'ria, what are you drinking right now? It's been a rough 2 weeks, kind of realizing that you've gotten over some deception. And while as the initial stories have gone, you are the ones that have slain the Fairnight family for good. Within the last few days, word has changed. You're now starting to hear whispers of, I hear they actually killed the general. And amongst that, spooked you and Rinnill, trying to keep on the down low until you finally come across this inn on this night. Being on this rough patch, what would you be drinking?
What kind of drinks exist back then?
You got ales, you've got Dwarven ale, which is...
like Witcher.
Here's the thing. You've got your liquors, you've got ale, you've got wine.
Fantasy drinks.
Yeah.
What's some good hard liquor?
Some hard liquor? You know what? There's
some ale.
There's
Ale.
I would say some how about some whiskey infused ale, because you need that extra kick.
Yes. I need something to get me through.
You need something to get you through this. Totally understand
I
it.
realized, like, offhandedly, this could have been a clue just because I lifted it up and it's strong dry ale.
There you go.
Just realized.
So ale with some whiskey then.
Ale with some whiskey.
The hard stuff.
The hard stuff. I completely agree with you. So you're kind of sitting there, drinking your drink, and Rinnill finishes tossing back another round. You've never seen Rinnill drink this much, and as he throws his glass down, I think they're starting to find out. What the hell are we going to do?
I think you're worrying just a little too much about it.
I mean, I know they're just rumors, but... I mean, they said they haven't found a body or anything yet, but... What if they find out? What are we going to do?
They won't, because they're just rumors. They haven't found a body, so they have no reason to suspect us. See, that's how drunk I'm getting. Suspect us.
It's a contact drunk.
It's a contact drunk, yeah.
GG.
God, I hope you're right. I really hope you're right. And he looks around and he goes to the bartender, and he's not quite to the part of swaying really bad, but he's going on his third round and he's starting to feel it a little bit. He goes up and he's like, "Bartender, I'm so sorry, I don't mean to shout. May I please get another round?" And the bartender looks at him. Right, yeah, of course. You're really laying it on thick though. What's your guys' deal? And Rinill's like, we just had a bad few days. He finishes pouring a really big goblet of wine. He didn't even ask for it. He's been drinking ale, and he's instinctively seeing and kind of being that you guys are the new people amongst a massive crowd of regulars that are always here. He instinctively pours a goblet and he gives it to Rinnill, and he's like, "This is on me. That's all you got to say. Just so you know, if the half-orc one, if he talks to any of you, don't freak out." Rennill's kind of like, okay. He takes his goblet and he's starting to feel it a little bit now, and he sets it down. Wow, they gave me the big glass, I guess. So the bartender said, I'm certain you can hear it. You're fucking smart. He said that if the half-orc talks to us,
Don't freak out, right?
don't freak out.
I think after this you've had more than enough.
I need to be fairly level-headed if we're to figure out what to do tomorrow. He takes not a massive swig, but a generous swig, and sets it down. Few minutes go by, and as you guys are kind of scanning, some of the patrons, there was a couple tieflings, a couple twin tieflings, or at least they looked twin tieflings. They had same hair, both males, same facial structures. You would assume they're twins or at least brothers. They leave. The Firbolg, who was sitting there for a while, eventually gets up and leave. And as the crowd's starting to thin around the half-orc kind of turns around. Turns his attention directly at you. Now, I've seen some drow before. But a wood elf is something I've never seen. Do you two care for some company?
What's your character's name again?
Rinnill.
Well, I'm gonna ask Rinnill what he thinks if he didn't
Well,
feel
maybe we should just hear him out. If things go south, I know the bartender said not to worry about him. Yeah, you can come on over.
If things go south, I'm gonna out mafia style.
He shows
over
up.
the table.
Yeah.
He's Robocopping out that
Yeah.
window.
Yeah,
No, he's like Spider-Man. You know what? He just like.
I'm thinking of Scott Pilgrim, where he's like, "Yeah, you just missed him." Jumps
Oh,
out the window.
yep.
Yeah,
Is that what that's from?
that's
Yes.
Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah,
Yeah,
his roommate goes,
Why did I say
"Hey."
Spider-Man?
Well, because Spider-Man I think does that too.
it looks like Spider-Man.
He
Yeah,
goes,
no,
you
it's
just
all
missed
good.
him.
Well.
So the half-orc, he gets up and he grabs his big old thing of ale and he sits because it's circular tables. There's like you two are sitting together. He sits on the opposite side. And he sets down his mug with massive strength. You can see the rippling muscles on this man. He definitely has more orc than him than whatever else is in his bloodline. Stands about 7'3". He's got teal skin with lighter kind of green like spiraling up, like, you know, up from his arms, and kind of he's got a shirt on. It looks like he's been, you know, you see some soot on his face. It looks like he's been working at least in like a blacksmith. Whether he's an assistant or the blacksmith is to be determined, but you see, actually roll an investigation check for me real quick.
Just a d20.
Just so I don't explain too much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so roll a d20, and then there's an...
And then investigation is intelligence, so you would add the +1.
Oh, so that's 16 plus 1, 17.
17. You notice that there's some calluses on his fingers. The calluses look like they're burn marks, which is if the soot wasn't already a clear sign that he's been working for a blacksmith, the calluses and burn marks on the tips of his fingers absolutely are a giveaway. I don't mean to sound a little bit conspiratorial, but word on the street is that you killed Lord Fairnight recently. But I've also heard that may not have been the actual case. Now tell me, you two, did you actually kill Lord Fairnight?
We did.
Roll a deception check.
Oh, fuck.
It's 20?
Same thing.
Okay.
With disadvantage,
Because you're drunk or nervous?
he seems very keen on some information.
Okay, so you're gonna roll it twice and take the lower number.
Yeah.
Is that a 1?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Shit. Why am I not here?
I forgot to roll a deception check as well. Well, he hasn't said anything.
He's making an assumption.
So you're kind of like, go, yeah, of course. Alright. What about...
We're talking right there.
Alright, what about you, drow boy? Did you really kill Lord Fairnight? And he stays quiet for a moment. He said, well, I mean, yeah, This deception and silence is all that I actually needed to hear.
Hear ye!
So, he leans in closer. I'm sorry, I don't mean to spook you. I'm just glad to know that those Ivanoran Crest fucks didn't actually get to Lord Fairnight. Let me introduce myself properly. My name is Boris.
Is it Boris?
Boris.
Boris, okay.
Oh, I heard Boris too.
Boris, got it.
My name is Boris. You can call me Bor for short. My family and a lot of people in these slums have great history with the Fairnights. Unlike all the other high-end fucks in this city, Fairnight was the only one that gave a shit about us. And we've been hearing some of the rumors going around about the Fairnights need to be eradicated, and to me that just doesn't sound right. Tell me, who all was left? Was it just Lord Emery, or were there more of them?
No, it's just Lord Emery when we searched the castle.
It's a damn shame. I've heard rumblings that at least his brother made it out, but again, those are just rumors. His brother Avery specifically, he would contract my father and myself over at the blacksmith shop down the way. Before my father died just a few years ago, he would contract the both of us in order to make them weapons. Not for attack purposes, just family heirlooms. They'd bring massive amounts of very fine, rare metal ore, and we would create these monstrosities of weapons. My father, he had nothing before the Fairnight started contracting him. He was just some half-orc fuck that had no money, sleeping inside of bars every night. Then he found Senior Fairnight. Brought him in, recouped him. He wasn't truly okay. Got him on his way and helped him open the blacksmith shop that we have now. He did that for a lot of people. That whole family did. And when they decided to raid the Fairnight family all those months ago, well, you wouldn't believe that there was some shit we wanted to start here. How bad did Emery look? Rinnill looks at you and it's like, well, he was pretty bad. He couldn't even fight when we were fending off the guards. Shit. Have you heard anything from him since? To give you information, ever since you left the Fairnight Manor, you've not heard anything from him or from Ashrin at all. Have you heard anything from him at all?
No, nothing.
Nothing. You know, we don't do much of the God thing in my family. We more think of intuition and what goes around comes around. And I've had this feeling that something's going to be coming around very soon. From the back, you hear Nicholas kind of yell out, "You always say that!" Well, am I right, Nick? Come on! It's Nicholas, thank you! And the bartender's like, "Hey, you two! Play nice!" Wait, I went full southern. There's too many accents to keep track of. No, you two! Play nice! I don't want to have to hold person on you two again. I'm like, yes, alright. There are a lot of people here that would do anything to make sure that those Ivanoran Crest fucks don't do anything more to anyone surviving in that Fairnight stronghold. Just know that if you need a place to stay, if heat starts coming your way, come to this bar. We're all friends here. And I'm not even going to ask you to roll any sort of insight check because the look on his eyes, he is 100% genuine. You could see when you tell him that Emery was the only one that was left in hearing about how bad he was. The look in his eyes of excitement, of maybe this isn't as built up as it was, has really turned to just sadness and somber. The three of you, along with Nicholas, and the barkeep and everyone who's still kind of lingering, share some drinks for a couple hours. Everyone is on a range from feeling pretty good to pretty not sober. No one's quite shit-faced, although Rinill's pretty close, but he's now kind of nursing some water to make sure he doesn't go past that point. Oh, being nice, because you've seen him too far gone, and it's never a good sight. But as the evening goes on, there's a moment in the evening where everything just kind of stops. And he just kind of thinking about Avery Fairnight. The story that he told of Avery being the one that would come to this area. I miss that. I miss that damn pure fuck. I say that lovingly, of course. As much of a pretty boy he was such a true person. I heard those rumors. Some rumors that they eradicated the whole family. A bunch of us here were hoping it wasn't true because we don't get shit information. Our barkeep may help the Thieves Guild from time to time, but they don't have great access to the higher end part of the city of Ivanora. And as he's talking, may make a perception check for me.
What this one?
Yes. D20?
Okay. It's just whatever I roll?
There's a perception. She'll be able to point out perception for you.
Yeah. Just go ahead and roll it.
Okay.
Okay, so it'd be +6.
19 total.
19 total. Okay. As he's talking, your eyes kind of dart off to the entrance. And you notice an individual walk in. He's got a hood up. You notice lighter colored hair kind of hanging from behind the ears, but that's about it. And he kind of scans for a moment. He nods at the bartender. Nicholas kind of looks, and you notice Nicholas kind of like his eyes kind of light up a little bit. And as Borith is continuing to talk, as he's saying, it's like, I really hope that it's not true that he's gone. You hear a voice from behind him go, "You didn't think I'd leave without saying goodbye, old friend, would you?" And you watch as he pulls the hood back. You're gonna roll another perception check for a completely different reason.
Same thing. I got 19
+6.
+6.
You are the
25.
queen of checking out super attractive boys without letting on that you are hitting or extremely enamored with how this boy looks.
Drink of water.
Thirst has no curfew.
Internally, she's like, "Oh no, he's hot."
The first thing that is noticed is the black hair that fades into a platinum silver, tied into a loose bun with strands falling and pulled behind the ears. You notice the piercing blue eyes similar to that of his brother. The visible fangs, the pointed ears, standing about 6 foot tall.
It's another black-haired boy.
Borith turns around and goes, "Well, you sneaky fuck." And they give like the biggest hug. As Borith is, Borith just like, raw, like he's Borth, Avery is 6 foot, but Borth is 7'3", so he's just like lifting him up off of it. He's like, oh, and then he's let down.
And then that night, Avery was crushed to death by a half.
Yeah, he really did die.
He double died.
He would have done. No, I'm kidding. I just rolled for the fuck of it. No, you see Avery stand there, and he looks over at you and Rinnill. He's like, "Are you two the ones that helped my brother?"
Yes.
Your cheeks are already starting to flush red, I would assume. He's just like...
She's just literally, like, on the bit. Yes.
Yeah, mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
Wow. And as he bows very regally, he's like, well, you have my utmost thanks. But I'm afraid that our time is not yet done. Boris, Rinnill, Na'ria, and you're caught off guard because you're like, you've never even introduced yourselves.
How do you know our names?
I was about to
Do you ask that?
After he finishes, yeah. Like, how do you know our names?
it's the shoujo protagonist. How do you know my name?
Yeah. Well, not to completely spook you, but I have visited my brother in recent days. So that is how I'm here to seek you two out.
What's your character's name?
What?
Ashrin.
What's your
Ashrin.
What?
How
No,
fares
his name.
Ashrin?
Ashrin fares well. My brother not so much. Come. There's lots to discuss. Borth? Like, yeah? I need you to come with us too. Wait, you need me to come with you to the castle?
Yeah.
Well, of course.
They do the good guy.
There's people,
slow
yeah.
walk-outs.
People's lives. He leans in close. People's lives could be at stake. And I know that you have good standing with people here.
I caught that too.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
They're at stake.
Shut up.
Sorry.
And permanent disadvantage to Ashrin for the rest of the campaign. No, I'm kidding.
I'll allow it.
I do need your help. Alright. Nicholas kind of waves. If you need anything from us too, please let us know. And Avery goes, don't worry, my friends. I'll definitely be in touch. Specifically you. And he points to the barkeep. And the barkeep's like, yeah, alright, I know. Let me guess, you need the rogue connection? It's like, in a sense, I just need allies right now. I'll be in touch with you two. Come. And before he does anything...
I thought he was going to be like,
Uh-oh.
I'm getting the round ready.
Something died. Okay, nothing truly died. We're okay. Alright, I just wanted to make sure, because something came up as an error. So as you two...
As the technical difficulties happen.
Before you all leave, he places a hand on... You guys walk out. He places a hand on Rinnill, and then whoop, disappears.
What?
No need to worry. It's an invisibility spell. It allows us to get to the castle without anyone being alerted. And you hear Rinnill go, "Yeah, I'm right here. I'm totally cool."
I'll like reach out.
As you reach out, you immediately feel.
Okay, you're here.
I'm here. Don't worry.
I'm here too.
He pokes like in the middle of his chest, like, yeah, I know. I don't have muscle. Thank you.
That's a nip.
That's a nip. Yeah. He puts his hand on you. Does anything escape from your mouth when he puts his hand on you for a moment?
Squeak.
You're just like
a little.
It's okay. I'm gonna keep you safe. And then, whoop, you don't notice anything. Everything seems the same. But then you go to look down and nothing's there. You're there. You're very much
Okay,
there.
I'm here. Just.
And he's like, "Boris, you know the drill?" He's like, "Of course." And he just puts his hands there, and he doesn't disappear completely, but becomes more translucent. Follow me. And as you guys make your way to the Fairnight Manor, I want you and I'm going to have everyone else roll stealth checks.
This one?
Yes, but you're going to roll it at advantage because you're invisible.
So take the higher number. Roll it twice.
Okay.
Okay. Rinnill
And
is
5.
Plus, what is this for?
stealth.
Stealth, okay. Plus
6.
1.
Okay.
6.
Fairnight's natural 20.
Of course.
Fucking hell.
And then... okay.
Oh
This
boy.
is not gonna be good.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Mm.
End of campaign.
As you guys are making your way, you're a little distracted. And and as you're distracted, you don't realize halfway through you trip over a rock. And you go, ah, shit! And then after that, you hear Borith go, hey, you need to be quiet. Fuck! As he stubs his toe on another rock. Rinnill
Why am I not here?
goes, guys, we need to be quiet.
Oh, he doesn't hit anything?
He rolled high enough,
Oh,
probably.
okay.
Rennill's okay. But why no one gets alerted is because of Fairnight's natural 20.
Of course.
Who, when you guys go, fuck, you see in the background, he casts a spell. This is a spell called Major Image. And where the guards would have been alerted to something going on, the image of two drunkards fighting for a bottle. Fuck! You hear a guard in the background go, hey, stop arguing, you two! And he's like, come on, let's go. As you guys finally make your way to Fairnight Manor. This time not having to go through the labyrinth because none of the traps have been activated this time. They're expecting company, so there's no traps or skeletons or anything. No more skellies. It's okay. You guys make it all the way to Fairnight Manor. As you guys make it to Fairnight Manor, you're led to the throne room, or the library room that you found Lord Emery Fairnight just weeks prior. Ashrin, you have been tending to Lord Emery for the better part of the last 14 days. And as you guys come up, you notice that Emery looks to be stuck in a chair.
Again? Well, I don't know he was last time, but...
No, he wasn't last time.
He
He
was
was
sitting.
sitting and then he stood up and he
Okay.
was very kind of holding like his chest.
Okay.
He sits up. Friends, boy, am I glad to see you. And you're helping him up. And you eventually lift. Actually, roll a strength check. No, I'm not going to do that to you. You help him
I'll
up.
do it, but...
You don't just do it for the fuck of it.
Let's see what happens. What?
14.
The DC was 10. You were going to lift him up.
Whoop!
You never know. I could have rolled a fuck.
Ugh. Thank you, love. Okay. I'm so sorry to have to bring you here in such secrecy. First of all, how do you two fare?
Yeah. Rinnill and I have seen better days.
I've seen better days.
But you're a sight for sore eyes.
Likewise, friends. Boris, how goes the town? It's going to shit, like you know it usually does. But worse than usual since the first assault. A lot of people are on edge, not sure what to think or what to do. A lot of people are not liking what the Crest is doing. Okay. I guess I should just jump right into what's going on right now. Back in the first assault, when the whole family was attacked by the Ivanoran Crest, there was apparently a curse they unleashed on us all. And while I did not know until recently that my brother Avery even survived, I've sat here, slowly deteriorating, not knowing what to do, watching as the love of my life was ripped away and my family struck down before me. And I fear that my time in this castle has accelerated this curse far more than it should have. And what he does, he unbuttons his shirt a couple ways, and he doesn't even fully pull the shirt back, but where he's holding, you already notice the black tendrils looping around, like almost up to his neck. And it gets darker and deeper as the lower it goes until the shirt kind of starts covering like the lower part of his abdomen. My brother has fared a little better, and he kind of undoes a button, and you're like, oh no.
Oh no.
And does another one, and he pulls the shirt to show his shoulder. You see a black mark, not nearly as deep as the one on Emery, but you see that there is a black mark there. So the way my brother sees it, because of his time here, the curse spread in him way quicker than it did me. I had to sneak around, but I was able to escape the castle, and even though the curse was placed on me, it's not been taking nearly as much. But since my last few days here, the small dot that was originally here is already starting to grow. But that's not the worst of it. That's right. This city is about to be devastated by a big assault. Ashran's been using her skills to appear as wildlife and animals to eavesdrop on some of the Ivanoran Crest to find out that they're planning to strike here again. Initially, it was thought just to make sure that this castle be burnt to the ground so it wasn't a priority. But apparently, General Hall's second in command has heard your story, Na'ria. Now, they don't know that you've done anything to him yet, but it's only a matter of time. So that leaves us with two things we have to do, with not much time to do it. Borith. The people in the slums, the people that we've looked over and taken care of for years, they're not safe anymore. We need to find a way to slowly but surely get them to safety. Well, we also need to figure out how to break this curse so we all can start anew. Borith, dear friend of our family for the last generation and a half, we are going to rely on you to help find a way to keep the people of the slums of Ivanora safe. Whether it's keep them hidden while this assault happens, get them out of the city, or find those who are strong enough to fight to build an army of our own. It's not going to matter what you choose. It's just going to matter what is done to keep people safe. And Borith goes, you don't have to say anything else. I already got Nick and the old man at the bar to keep me occupied as far as figuring things out. We can get some leads, figure out how to get some people out of here. This whole family's been too kind to everyone in the slums, and we owe you all a great debt, and if it means helping you guys and helping ourselves in the meantime, then we will do whatever it takes. Of course. Rinnill. Yes. He stumbles slightly. He's still kind of feeling it a little. He's had a fair time to sip on his water, so he's not drunk. But he's like, yes, of course. You... Now that was her and Borith, yes. You being one of the gods and one of the clergy, you know lots about medicine. as my beloved here knows a lot about natural remedies to try to slow things. You ought to work with her to try to at least slow the progress of this curse as we figure out a way to permanently heal this. Yeah, of course, yeah. Ashrin, I'll get with you.
Hashtag awkward.
Yeah, right. Ashrin, have you figured anything out already? You've been experimenting with some essential oils. No, it's like you've been using some of the
I found a goop actually.
I found this fucking Gwyneth Paltrow goop candle.
No, founded.
You founded goop. Oh no. Oh no, D&D goop. Oh no. Oh no. Rock falls on Ashrin, out of campaign. No, I'm kidding. You have, being that the druidic tribes practiced mixing herbs to create more natural medicine, but still medicine nonetheless, have kind of been experimenting with what you could find. The only thing you've been able to find is that you have found something to at least ease some of the pain that he's feeling from the pulsating curse that's right here in his abdomen. And I'm assuming you're going to relay that to him. Okay. Well, I can see what magics I've got, and we can work together to see what we can do. Very good. Na'ria.
Yes.
You are to work with my brother to try to research for a cure.
Oh no.
And he looks over at Avery. I am assuming you will be on your best behavior, brother. I'm here to help you. I may have something beautiful to look at, but I'm here to help you.
Insight check.
Roll an insight check. Here.
Oh.
Roll insight
Wait,
checks.
her or me?
Go ahead, roll an insight check.
Okay.
You guys both can.
I just roll it?
Yeah, go ahead and roll it, and then roll insight.
So
Okay.
insight is there's a plus 2.
17.
17. Okay.
Sure, I'll roll. Why not? Okay, insight. Oh, +6. So 17 + 6.
Okay, so
23?
you, even in your kind of enamored state, are really kind of gleaning that it was just meant as a compliment. Like, he's giving you a compliment, but at the same time he understands that there's work to be done. And he's kind of really, while there is flattery, but like there's meaning to the flattery, kind of trying to lift the spirit of a relatively grim situation. You, on top of that, know that in the past Avery has been a womanizer, as the stories that have been told by Emery.
Oh, just your like.
But this was more in like his teenage Dampier years, where he knew he was hot and knew he could get whatever he wanted. In the past 10 to 15 years, because Dampiers kind of live longer, basically the equivalent of like over the last 5 years for a human. But over the last few years, decade and a half for him, he's done a lot of growing. He knows that charm is there, and it kind of comes naturally. He's naturally going to be very complimentary and very flattering. But you also know from the stories your brother said that he never faked what he said. So it is very much a compliment, but you know that if this was him from 15 years ago, he'd be chasing that like hardcore.
Skirt chaser.
Yeah, but
I'm still gonna give him a side eye.
just give him a side eye, and he goes, "You have my promise." And he looks over at you, Na'ria, and goes, "I do hear that, although you are a paladin, that you are very knowledgeable yourself, so while we do jest in times of need, there is a time of need. Do you care to walk with me while I take Borith back?"
Yes.
Of course.
Of course.
Emery shoots a glare at Avery for a moment. Avery goes, "It's times of dire need. We need to go in pairs. I can't take Borith back and be taken out by a Crown's God." And Emery goes, Emery just knows. He knows he's genuine in that. He goes, "Very fair, very fair. Borith, we will touch base with you in a week or two's time. Catch up to see how the progress is going. Avery, you and Na'ria may take him home." The three of you leave. as the camera pans up. 15 days later. Ashrin and Rinnill, I need... It's talking to myself. I need to switch music real quick. Ashrin and Rinnill...
Good job.
Need you to both roll medicine checks.
21.
So I rolled a 10, but it was a natural 1. However, this is more of just generally who gets the higher number. While Rinnill has been trying his best to see what kind of, healing magics are working, it seems like that it's kind of, he's struggling because it seems like it's more of a temporary boost to have it kind of be removed. However, as you've been seeing him struggle over these 15 days, you've been kind of working to maybe work on like a potion for Fairnight or work on a potion for Rinnill to kind of maybe boost boost how long like a spell that he would cast would last. Or boost the duration. With the roll of, you said 23? 21. Okay, regardless. Actually, that changes every... No, I'm kidding. That's pretty great. At this point... Yeah, I know. At this point, the DC was 28. No, I'm kidding. No, so,
Wow.
I'm kidding, no. Basically, you have found a way to create a little bit of a concoction for Lord Fairnight, for Lord Emery, to drink before Rinnill applies like a cure wounds on him. And you're noticing that while the main bulk isn't going away, the tendrils have kind of stopped spreading for the time being. Or if they are, they're moving at a way slower pace than you initially thought. This has been a success on normalizing or stabilizing Lord Emery Fairnight. Na'ria, I need you to roll an investigation check. You can either have me roll for Avery as well, or you can roll at advantage and take the higher number. Which would you prefer?
I guess I'll just take the higher number.
Okay, go for it. Go ahead and roll twice and take the higher number.
That's 6 or not?
Yeah, that's 6.
That's 6? Okay.
The line is underneath. Okay, what's this for?
This is investigation.
Investigation plus 1.
14 total.
14 total. Okay, beats it. I made your guys' DC a little easier because since we're both rolling basically the DC of a success. What you need to roll.
Check?
Yes.
Oh.
Basically,
The bare minimum of what you need.
bare minimum of what you need.
Okay.
You beat the DC. So
Anything
you're good.
higher than that, you beat it.
Oh, I beat it.
Over these last 15 days, you and Avery have been poring over the massive, and you remember the library being big, but you didn't get to go into the library proper. To the left of the general kind of what's like the reception area, to the right, excuse me, because it leads into the back area of the castle. There is a massive, think like the size of like Belmont's library in Castlevania. It is a massive fucking library that has information from centuries past.
I was thinking the library from Beauty and the Beast, but here we are.
I'm thinking more Castlevania. Totally not a Castlevania ripoff. Yeah, right. As you're pouring through your books, there are references to a cure for this. Very vague references, but you are finding references to potential cures. In quite a few of these, there's a term that keeps coming up, and it's a term called Feldroot. Feldroot is, as you kind of keep seeing this term, Avery kind of is like, are you noticing this? And you're kind of starting to look more into Feldroot to see what that has to do with potentially creating a cure. With that being a success, since it still is a lower-ish number, I mean, it's a higher number, but really close to the DC, you don't get as many leads with Feldroot, but you at least have a couple books that'll be able to help you further look into things. Around day 13, this is an RP moment.
Oh no.
Okay.
Don't need to leave.
No, you don't need to look. You're good. Avery is parsing through some books, and he looks over to see you kind of just standing there, like, looking intently.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of sets what he's researching down, you know, kind of marks the page and sets it down and goes over to you. You know, you're going to break a blood vessel if you strain that much.
Sorry. Not with that attitude. What blood vessel is she breaking?
There's like the vein in the head because he's like straining really hard. I know what other blood. That'll be later. Anyway.
For everyone else.
Yeah. Now you're gonna. Why don't we take a few minutes? Why don't we just breathe for a moment?
Alright. I set the book down.
You know, you've been doing an incredible job. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Have you done this much research before?
To be honest, not really. I just want to help them. Help you. Them, you. Both of you.
He picks up on the way that you said help you. And he's like, I'm imagining her just completely awkward and like flushed red.
Them, you, that. Yeah, like that.
Listen, and he puts his hand on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. We're gonna find this cure. And I know I made my jokes when we first started working here, but I'm thankful to have someone as clever and smart as you by my side as we work on this. If it means that my brother and I can find a way out of this, honestly, there's no greater debt than I would have. And there's just kind of a moment there of like when you watch in an anime that like you start to really feel the sexual tension a little bit. His hand.
How the wind is blowing and sakura blossoms are falling.
You notice because they've been researching, like his hair is in a very loose bun. There's a couple more strands that are kind of falling a little more. You do notice his eyes look really nice in this lighting though. Listen, May, when I told you you're going to get a vampire boyfriend, I told you you're going to get
sexual tension
a damn pure boyfriend.
She's doomed.
And as you two kind of converse for a moment, you two kind of like just keep looking at each other. You're breathing. Like a breathing exercise. He's like, no, just follow my breathing. Just breathe in. And you're trying not to hyperventilate. Yeah. But like, it is a much needed 5-minute rest of what has been nearly 20 hours a day of research and like next to nothing of sleep. That night, he decides to call it off early and make sure that he's like, please go to bed. I don't care when you wake up in the morning. We need rest. And he
needs to rest. You need to rest too.
I plan on it. And he immediately... we're not quite there yet.
What did you say?
Don't leave me alone.
So you guys retire to your chambers on that moment. We have now reached 30 days.
A month.
We have reached a month into this.
Your monthly trial is now over.
Your monthly trial is now over. Now, please provide your credit card information if you wish to continue getting your dampier boyfriend.
You know, this is when we draw out the charge for the monthly trial.
Okay. It has been 30 days since the start of looking into everything. On Borth's front, he reports maybe a couple days prior to Avery, who was able to get out one night, given he's a wizard and has a bunch of spells to disguise himself or look different or go invisible. He's been able to meet up and find out that, although speaking in thieves' can amongst the slums is prepared to do what it takes. While the people of the slums are really hoping to be able to escape this and not have to fight this because they know, while they don't know the extent that it is like lycanthropy that is bled into the Ivanoran Crest, it is very much, they know it's dangerous and they want to be able to escape. Borth said that he is willing to stay at the Fairnight Manor if everything goes to shit. He, Walmedi, and Nicholas are all okay staying with them, even if it means that they have to stand and fight. while that's been going on, Rinnill and Ashrin, let's roll medicine checks. Okay, that's better.
Ooh, I didn't do good this time.
What'd you get?
I got 10.
Got a 10. Thank God I rolled. See, that's plus 9. That's 18. I rolled a 9 plus 9. 9.
How do you have plus 9? What the fuck?
I'm proficient in it, and my wisdom's a 20.
When
I upgraded the character sheets, jacked my wisdom to 20.
I was gonna say, I'm proficient in that too. And then you said
Yeah. Wisdom's at 20.
Well then.
You have kind of hit a little bit of a brick wall as far as the natural remedies. You feel that at this point in time, unless you get access to new...
to what I need, basically.
To new items that you would need, that this is the best that you can do. Rinnill, however, has kind of been finding a way, as he's really been, in prayer and in meditation. He found that with your spell and a lesser restorations, with your concoction and a lesser restoration spell, while it's not reversing the curse at all, it seems to be halting the progress even more. To the fact that you almost swear that some of the tendrils have shrunk a little bit. He's still very much sick. This curse is deep. And you're relying on the research by Na'ria and Avery in order to fully know what needs to be done. Na'ria, you can either roll an advantage and take the higher number, or I can roll with you.
Do what you did last time, basically.
What are we doing?
This is investigation.
Okay.
For the four.
You roll with me this time.
I'll roll with you this time. Ready?
Roll with me.
I'll roll with you.
Just once?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And what are we doing?
Investigation.
Investigation?
Plus 1.
I got 19 total.
He got a 19 as well.
Wow!
You both matched.
Ooh.
You're both finishing each other's sandwiches. That's a little gay.
Yeah, a little gay. So you guys from the last 15 days have really keyed in on the Feldroot. You've turned up information about curing properties of Feldroot. You've turned up properties of the idea of breaking curses and concoctions that could be used. There have been wise tales from old bards telling of a hag that placed a cure, and that the medicine man that needed to break that curse, or placed a curse, and the medicine man that needed to break a curse. You guys have found really old, I think from like 2.5 centuries ago, a textbook of herbal healing, and that Feldroot was used for those to believe to have small curses. And as you continue looking into it, you guys make a discovery. And it is a shocking discovery, but it is a discovery that you have to look into. You find a textbook, a more recent textbook, maybe 80 years old, that goes into the healing properties of Feldroot. It goes into Feldroot in use of concoctions to break curses. But you read that it comes at a great cost. And while you initially kind of freak out of what do we have to lose, you realize that the great cost comes in a timed interval. You don't know what too much of that means, but you now are really honing in on what needs to be done. And you're really honing in on what does this cost? What do we need to do this? And is this a viable option? On the 30th day, as you and Avery are finishing up for the evening, you two are sitting there and kind of just unwinding, shooting the shit. And he looks around and he notices the wine rack. Old wine rack. And he grabs open a bottle of wine and he's like, it seems like you're more of like a liquor or ale person, but wine? You're like,
Yes.
mm-hmm, yeah, mm-hmm.
Get more food.
So you guys pop open the bottle and you spend the better part of like 3 or 4 hours just sharing stories with one another, where you came from, him growing up on the Fairnight Manor, kind of the period of peace that was there before all of this stuff really kind of happened. And he kind of sits there, and you know, it's interesting. Sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes you just meet people and you just think, I was supposed to meet this person. And you don't know if it's, you know, there are romantic stories that tell of like, oh, we were destined to meet one another, but I just mean, you meet someone and it just feels right, you know? And don't mind me being forward, and I don't know what it means for the future, but I feel that for you. You know, all this research and all of your selflessness, you know, it's already kind of proven why we were supposed to meet. You're the one that's going to help us break this curse, and you're the one that's going to help us Fairnights live on, but you're doing a very selfless thing, and I couldn't thank you enough. And you notice that... Actually, roll an insight check for me real quick.
Okay. And then add whatever.
Add the... So on skills, they'll say insight.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I got a 3 total.
Oh no! What'd you roll?
Oh, what?
Oh no!
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, she did roll a 1.
Oh no. Oh no. It's okay.
Tell me what happened.
Let her reroll, damn it. No, I'm just kidding.
I want to know. I'm
You know what?
I'm seeing this through.
You know what? You're focused intently. Roll with advantage. Roll it again.
Why? I want to see what...
Oh, you want to see what happens? So you want to stay committed to the one?
Yes.
Okay,
I want to know what happens.
He seems to be grappling with something. You're just... Wow. I've spent the last month with the hottest man in all of existence.
That's the wine talking.
Never mind.
And...
Don't let her roll again.
Yeah. And you sit there like...
You let your guard down for 1 second.
And you're like...
I blame the wine.
Oh,
Sure.
you're sitting
wine.
there like... Man, I just thought he was hot, but I think I'm catching the vibe. Oh no.
She's come down with a case of the vapors.
She is. And you've kind of started feeling some feelings recently. I mean, you felt feelings in your loins immediately.
Oh
when you
no,
met him.
not drunk feelings.
No.
Anything but that.
So, in your kind of drunken state, you kind of just blurt something super embarrassing out. What is that super embarrassing thing?
Think of something embarrassing to tell her.
Like about me or just...
About him.
Oh.
Because you're too busy admiring him.
Just imagine if you were drunk and you were admiring his beauty to yourself.
If you
But you don't
think like
have
you were
the
drunk in
willpower.
front of Emmerich or
But you don't
like
have,
Alucard.
You don't
Oh,
have.
you're really fucking beautiful.
You don't have the ability.
You just like you kind of just you're really fucking beautiful.
You don't have the
And
ability
he
to
looks
filter
over,
that.
and you swear you notice a slight blush kind of creep up. Is that just the wine talking?
I don't know.
He kind of he's noticing that you're really starting to feel the wine right now, and he goes, "All right."
Roll a gentleman check.
No, he doesn't need to roll a gentleman check because Dampiers can't get drunk.
No, I'm just
No.
not for that.
Oh, she needs to roll a gentleman check. No, I get you. No, I know that's what you're saying. Come on, you're starting to feel it. Let me get you to bed, okay? And so he walks you as you're really starting to feel the wine, infatuated with this beautiful man. You really did just say. So as he leads you to the room and he's like, "You sleep all right?" And before you leave, he kind of catches your hand for a moment. You've always been beautiful. And he lets it go and lets you into the room.
We touch. I can't.
Oh, great. Do you ever think you and your best friend would be playing out a romance plot? You're like, hey, why not?
I don't know. Ask Critical Role.
Yes! Yes, okay.
Did you ever think you'd watch your wife flirt with one of your friends because their characters are in a relationship?
Yeah, right. Okay. We've now passed further in time to the 45th day.
It's a lot of days.
It's a lot of days.
Dun dun.
Breaking ground on getting the people in the slums of Ivanora out. Recently, a kind of like arcane, like a D&D equivalent of like a hologram, basically, like an arcane message has shown up from one Lord Cassius of Eolian. Eolian of Eolian. As soon as you hear the name Lord Cassius, you already know who this is. This is Uncle Cassius Fairnight of the grand city of Eolia. Or of Eolian, I'm sorry. Y'all.
That's what I'm gonna call it. Yalia.
Of Eolia. Stop it! You're fucking up! My notes are right here! At disadvantage on it? No, it's okay.
I'll allow it.
Yeah. But Lord Cassius has agreed to a plead for help that was put in by both Emery and Avery. Lord Cassius has agreed to get his finest men, his finest mages, to help teleport citizens of Ivanora, night by night, small group by small group, to Eolian in order to find refuge in this time of need. Lord Cassius has also said, if need be, he will aid in the purification ritual, which is what this is now being known as, in order to help Lord Avery and Lord Emery. As time has gone on, let's do another medicine check for Rinnill and Ashrin.
11.
I rolled just above the DC.
Percy is in jail.
What did Percy do to you?
Percy was the one I just rolled.
He was already in jail for so many years. They got
Nice.
At least I'm not abusing him.
It's true.
It's just in timeout.
That is true. That is true. It's timeout. Yeah.
Every husband goes in timeout. This one is in timeout.
That's true. Words to live by, I guess.
Every husband goes in time.
Greg's like making a mental
note. So, and I rolled a 17, so just a little above what they did.
Brag about it.
No, I'm just saying that no new. You've like before, it's been all but confirmed that this is all that you can do at this point. Luckily, Rinnill has been able to start casting Lesser Restoration at a little bit of a higher level in order to try to keep the curse at bay.
Mild restoration.
Mild restoration, yeah. But it's been going well. And you guys have been doing all you can. You guys have passed every single check, which has been nice. This was the harder one. Yeah. Na'ria?
Yes.
Do you want to roll at advantage, or do you want me to roll with you again?
Roll with me again.
Oh boy.
It happens. What is this one for again?
Investigation.
Plus 1.
I got 12 total.
What do we need to get?
Oh no.
Oh.
The engagement is off. It hasn't even happened.
Man.
Bring it to me. Tell me.
You guys just missed. I will give you this.
Okay.
You were close enough. So you guys, while you've at least found out that the period of time is a smaller sequential amount of time. And that once that amount of time is done, the second half of the basically the potion that you're creating takes effect and then pulls the curse out of the body. However, unfortunately, you guys for the life of yourselves are getting frustrated because you cannot find the exact amount of time you need to wait. And it's really starting to wear on you. That's actually going to be good for the RP moment for this.
Oh, no.
It is really... It is a really frustrating night. You've literally gone through dozens and dozens of books, cover to cover. And like these books keep saying, you just need to wait the amount of time. You just need to wait the amount of time.
The amount of fucking
and
time.
you can't, there's one night specifically that you're so pissed, you throw the book aside. And you kind of have your hands in your head.
Damn, what the book do to you?
And
Didn't give me what I wanted.
Avery kind of noticing that because he's over on like the other end trying to research, and he's visibly frustrated too. He makes his way over to you, and like your hands are on the desk, and he just kind of sits there, and he walks over frustrated as well, and he just kind of puts one hand on yours. I know you're frustrated, and I don't blame you for throwing that. You'll find this. I know it's frustrating, but one of these books have to have something.
Well, how many more are we going to have to go through? We've gone through so many with nothing.
I wish I had an answer for that. I really do.
I thought the wall of books coming down.
And he just kind of puts his other hand on yours, your other hand, and he just looks you in the eyes, and he goes, I have a gift for you. Maybe it's something that'll take your mind off of this, to make you feel like you have in control of something at least. And he goes into his pouch.
Oh, okay.
No. This is a very serious moment, luckily. Mm-hmm. So I just want to let you know.
We'll make the joke after. Okay.
There will be jokes after
Yeah.
you can make, but he pulls this really fine gem out, and he kind of sets it down on the table ahead of you and puts his hands back on yours. I know you're usually a strong one, but you know some sort of healing magic. While I was out, I figured this could help one of your spells. And I want you to write down a 300 gold gem. Write down a 300 gold diamond.
Oh, and equipment?
Yes.
Oh, was it 300?
300 gold diamond.
Gold diamond, okay.
And you know what this diamond is for.
I do?
She does?
There is a spell that clerics and paladins get in a time of dire need that needs a 300 gold diamond.
Paladins get that too?
Yes, paladins do get that as well.
Oh,
shit, I need to read.
Well, hooray, I get an item.
And he kind of just looks at you and says, even if things go south, whether it's on me, whether it's on my brother, whether it's on any one of our allies, you use this gem. If someone falls in battle, place it to their chest. Keep your holy symbol close, and it'll help bring us back for a second chance. Now, as a player to DM, as a DM to player, you have a spell in your spells called Revivify.
I do?
If you go to the last page,
Okay.
it's a 3rd level spell. It's called Revivify.
Oh, I see. Okay.
What Revivify is, if someone falls in battle, if somebody not just goes unconscious but completely dies,
Okay.
as long as you have a body, so even if like someone gets decapitated, you're able to keep the head with the body, and you use the spell. You use a 300 gold diamond, and you cast Revivify, and it sews the wounds back together and brings the person back to life. And he has given you the gem that you have needed for that spell.
Oh, okay.
Is that how that works with decapitation though?
Decapitation, the way that it was done, I was saying,
I was like, I'm
I
gonna
have
have
to
fact check.
I have
maybe.
to no. I have to show you the search for Bob from Critical Role, because Liam's character got completely eviscerated, limbs pulled, head decapitated, and they put everything back together and cast the spell, and it sewed everything back together. You just have to have everything. Now, if you get
you gotta cast that within a minute though.
you have to cast it within a minute. Yes,
You better have those parts.
unless somebody casts Gentle Repose, then they have
I was gonna say, I
a
don't have
longer
any on
period
this
of
ship
time.
anymore.
Well, still,
Okay, I wrote it down.
there you go.
It's weird not having these spells anymore.
I figured that would at least help you a little bit. It's the least that I can do to pay you back.
Thank you.
I know it's going to be rough, but you should probably go get some sleep.
Sorry for snapping at you.
No need to. I'm just as frustrated. You only understand. And he realizes his hands have kind of been on yours for a little too long. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry about that.
Okay, we should probably go to bed.
Yeah.
Go to sleep.
Let's
Well, good night.
have a good night. And he kind of just stays there for a little bit longer as you walk off. You get a feeling that he's not going to be sleeping tonight. And even though we're going to be jumping ahead, the next day you tell he's completely exhausted. He's knocked out in the chair.
Of course.
Yeah, because he
Can
stayed
I
up
bring
all
him a
night.
blanket?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to do that. Yeah, so
Okay, so when I see him, I go get a blanket from my room, yes. And I put it on him.
Something with my scent.
And I just tuck it around him and
just tuck it around
pat
him
his head and
as you go ahead and, because like obviously you wake up the next morning and he's finally passed out.
Yeah,
So,
so
like
I-
as you go to research.
I go to research.
It's a nice little moment, and he just kind of settles in. He feels the warmth now because it's kind of colder in the library, and he just like settles in a little bit.
Yes.
She takes one of the books and researches how to make that diamond into a ring.
I love it so much I put a ring on it.
All right.
It's so pretty. I want to keep it.
I want to keep him. I mean it.
I mean both.
Yes. Alrighty.
Not necessarily in that order, but both.
It is now the 59th day.
How many months is this?
Damn, not 69.
We're almost 2 months.
Oh, okay.
Not 69.
Damn
Damn.
it.
It's not nice.
Rinnill and Ashrin, one more medicine check.
One more medicine.
One more? Jesus Christ.
This is the last
Do the
medicine
purple
check.
one.
Which purple one?
That one. I like that one.
Oh! You better roll good.
No pressure.
Go, go, go.
Okay. 18.
I rolled an 11.
She got 18.
You got an 18.
That better have been enough.
You just beat the DC on this one.
Ha!
Yay, you saved your lover.
All Rinnill has been able to do is he is tapped at his limit of how long he can, of how strong he can cast Lesser Restoration. He feels that if he were to meditate more, he can try to figure out a greater notion of this. And in fact, he actually one night attempts this higher version of a restoration. But it ends up nearly forcing him back because the curse just completely rejects it. And the cops are after me, so we gotta make this quick. Yeah.
The guards are coming.
But you have found a way to make your concoctions stronger, to make it last longer, to at least let the lesser restoration that you have to resort to stay intact. You guys have successfully stabilized Emery Fairnight for what's to come the following day.
Yay.
We did it.
Na'ria,
Yes.
I want you to roll this with advantage.
Okay.
So the higher number one.
So take the higher number.
So I
Is
gotta
this
roll.
investigation again?
Investigation. Last investigation.
Plus
13 total.
13 total.
Her lowest one was like a 6.
8.
Or 8.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll for him just for the sake of... No.
It's okay.
Uh-oh.
Roll with it. Literally. Go.
Yeah, we're going to have
Literally
to.
roll with it.
I'm just seeing what information I want to give. What'd you roll?
I got a 13.
13. God,
So 12 plus 1.
so close. You are not certain if you have the right information. You're not certain you even have felled root. And in fact, your search for felled root goes without any results. But the one piece of information that you now finally have, it takes 12 hours to heal. As you guys are finishing up, gotta roll for another thing. As you guys, oh my god. As you guys are finishing up.
That's either good or bad.
Wait, why did I roll for that? I don't know.
I don't know.
That's supposed to be the failsafe regardless. As you guys are pulling your hair out, just trying to figure out where to find felled root, you have all the information. You make this potion out of felled root. You drink it. It takes 12 hours. But you don't have the fucking felled root to do it.
Press not.
You hear a voice from within the chamber. You know, we may have what you need, nephew Emery. And he realizes...
That is evil and creepy, and I need a
He
shower.
looks, and he goes, "Oh, it's Avery. Sorry."
What?
And he turns around and he goes, "Uncle Cassius, your vision is worse than ever." And he's like, he clears his throat a little bit. "Did I sound evil enough for you?" It's like, "Oh, of course you're sounding evil as always."
I need 2 showers. I'm not even here, and I need 2 showers.
And Uncle Cassius gives Avery a big old hug, and he kind of puts something in his hand. "I think you're going to be needing this." And in his hands are 3 smaller sections of felled root. And he's like, how did you get that?" And he goes, "You forget, Avery. You tell your brother everything. And your brother's been communicating with me. So of course I'm going to know you're in need of some fucking felled root, my nephew." Yeah, right? Now, do you know how to do this potion? And he looks over at you, and what you know, the concoction is you need exactly 3 things of felled root. The hitting 15 or above, you guys would have found extra, so if the potion had failed, you guys would have more.
Oh no.
So this is now a kind of make or break it situation.
You get 1 shot to do
You
this.
get 1
You have
shot.
this chance to blow up.
You only get 1 shot, yes. So you see them, it's like, is this going to be enough? You're like, just enough.
Yep, just enough. Make it.
Well, we better not mess this up, shall we? And Cassius kind of pats Avery on the head, on the head, and goes, "I wish it was in better circumstances, but I'm glad to have been able to see you boys again. We're gonna get this curse out of you boys, and want to keep these people safe." Avery goes, do we have any update on the rest of the people in the slums? We just took the last group of them out. The trio of assholes at the bar is still going to be staying here, I guess, but they said that they wanted to see this fight through to the end. Avery just chuckles. Just like those 3, of course. Go see to Emery. What do you need in order to make this potion? And he's like, "Well, give me the root back and I can start working on it. I just need the better part of a day to get this done. Hopefully that buys us enough time." Of course. As you leave the library, you guys retreat to your respective rooms.
Chambers.
Chambers, yeah, whatever. Well, he You, as the evening goes on, you're settled in. You're in your comfy clothes. You're in a nice, beautiful velvet robe. Your hair's tied up.
You're sitting in front of a fireplace.
Might as well. The fire alarm's going off. You might be burning down the cabin. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
We'll be right back. And that's where we go to break. No, I'm kidding. You hear at the door. Is it safe to come in? Or should I come back later?
No, it's safe.
He
Should I go
opens,
up and open the door?
he
It's
opens
safe, I'm not burning anything, I promise.
he opens the door and he's in a looser shirt and nothing. No, I'm kidding. He's in a looser shirt. He has his pants on. He doesn't have his boots on or anything like that, but he's kind of in a more comfortable shirt.
He's got some headlights.
What?
He's got some headlights.
Yeah, he's got some headlights. Yeah.
It's cold in the castle.
It is cold. Well, it's cold in the library. It's warmer in the castle.
Still, though. It's cold.
His shirt's unbuttoned a couple buttons, and it's kind of like open like this a little bit. The nips are covered,
but you still see
you
them.
kind of notice that in this corner you're starting to see some black tendrils starting to show, like just peeking out a little bit. And he sits down. He's got like a really old bottle of wine and 2 glasses.
Go again.
And he goes,
I've come to romance you.
I need to not think about things for a moment. Do you mind if I keep you company for a while?
No, of course.
He sets the
Try
glasses
to be
Not
down.
missing a beat.
Yeah, I'm trying to be smooth. And
Now,
really
at
hard.
this point in time, the flirting has really grown between
The
you
what?
two. The flirting has
Oh, the
really...
you said flooring. I'm like, what's
The
a flooring?
flirting
Oh,
has
the flirting.
really grown
I
between
mean, what
you
have you
two.
been doing on the floor?
Rinnill, a few days prior, kind of makes the comment of like, "Are you sleeping with him, or what's going on?" You know?
No.
No, and he's like, "Well, I mean, not yet, but are you going to?" I could just see it on your face. You're like, shut
up. Do your thing.
Meanwhile, Ashman's just like, what about you, Rinnill?
I don't have anyone.
He has his faith in God.
I have my faith in my God. That's all I need.
She would have been like, then don't pester her about this. You don't even have any game.
Ooh.
I'm not even trying, but okay.
Exactly.
He just kind of like goes back.
This is a flashback.
Yeah, this is
my
She's
segment.
basically just like, leave her alone, get serious.
Yeah. But like everyone's kind of seeing the kind of romantic tension that's really been
But
building
me
between
and
you two.
what's his name?
You and Avery.
Avery, we're like trying.
What's
to,
his
we're
name?
like,
You guys-
we're like kind of.
You guys have.
Her.
You guys. You've played into it. He's played into it.
But we didn't think anything was gonna happen out of it.
You guys. Well, you guys are both playing into it, right?
Okay.
But you've kind of been playing at it at arm's length, and so has he, because it seems like that you want to know if you're going to go through with becoming this close. You don't want it to just be this fling, you save the world and never see each other again. One of the things that he mentions as time has gone on is that when Dampiers feel that they need to be that there's someone that's meant to stay in their life, they'll do anything to fight for that, regardless of what kind of relationship that's supposed to be. Whether it's, you know, brothers beyond blood or romantic or familial, they kind of hold tight to that. And that feeling within him towards you guys have had late conversations about this. He's like, I feel this growing, but I don't want to be the only one who feels this. And it's really kind of, and you in your head, like, you've gotten over just the man he's attractive part. You've really kind of become connected, kind of being people that have had to go at life on your own for a while. Kind of the wanderlust that hit both of you. He kind of laughs, but not at you, but in solidarity of when you open up about, well, I did all these contracts back in the day because I needed coin and I just wanted some coin, and You know, it was just me, myself, and I. And he laughs because he understands that. And you really have kind of been able to confide in him in your kind of long 15 to 20 hours a day of just researching and the sleepless nights and wondering if you guys are going to be able to figure everything out. And seems like everything, albeit without its frustrations and not in the ideal situation, you guys have definitely, there is such a connection there. And it all has come to this moment in this night. As he pours the 2 glasses of wine and he just kind of sits there. Because the way the rooms are set up, you've got the bed, you've got a seat, you got the candle light with a desk. There's the nightstand with candlelight as well, and the candles are lit, and you guys are just sitting there. And you definitely, I'm not going to make you roll for this one because for RP purposes, you're going to notice he has barely touched his wine. There is a lot on his mind right now. There's the feelings he's grappling with Na'ria. There's the idea that this whole thing could fail. There's the idea that this could succeed and the Fairnights will live on. There's the growing tension of they've been by this point in time, which I apologize, like a few sections prior I was meant to say this, that the Ivanoran Crest know what really happened now. And the rumors are coming that they are going to storm the castle soon. And there's been this kind of growing tension. And he's just kind of sitting there and in kind of an uncharacteristic moment of weakness. He just looks at you. Am I going to make it through this?
All serious. We've come this far.
Seems like there's a lot more going for us than against us, although I feel like that there could have been more we could have done.
There's always going to be times we think we could have done more.
And he just looks you in the eyes. Oh, I came in with the wine and I haven't even really had a sip. So I want that to be known when I say that. I'm so thankful I met you. And he kind of gets up from his seat and kind of sits next to you on the bed. And there's no denying it, I'm definitely falling for you. And I know this is coming at such a weird and inopportune time, and if you say now is not the time, that is fine. I greatly respect that.
So real quick, player to DM.
Yes!
So like, does
Fireworks are going off.
Does she have to say anything? Can I just do an action?
You could do an act. Please do an
Okay,
action.
Okay.
You can say, I do this or I do that.
I do this, I do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, hang on, you flustered me now.
Do I need to describe how the light kind of hits his like
No, I
hair and
got
his
an
eyes?
idea already.
Okay.
No.
Right.
Well, from there, she's gonna just put her wine glass down.
Ooh.
And they're just. Oh my god, I can't even describe it.
Well, just
Do
like
things escalate or not?
what's the first action?
Put the wine glass down.
So she puts the wine glass down, and what's the first action after she puts the wine glass down?
Poke the headlights.
Sorry.
It's okay. It is okay,
I'm
May.
right now.
It is okay. May is so flustered, and I love it.
Pokes the headlights and make like a honking sound.
No, would you do that?
She's never done that.
I'm trying to help you.
Anyway, so you set. Okay. Deep
I'm trying to
breaths.
help her make.
I know. So you set the wine glass down.
And then
Do you want to write it down on a piece of paper?
No, because that's gonna.
Let's put it simpler. Do things escalate from there or not?
Well, it's all up to what May decides she wants to do next.
Yes or no, and then you can narrate from that.
Well, again, it's all a matter of he's put the ball in her court of whether
Now
she
it's
wants
her
to,
turn. Now
whether if she wants to escalate it, she will have to show she wants to escalate it. If she feels that it is not the time, then he will respect that and understand that, and he will go back to his chambers.
Well,
You want some fuck, yes or no?
Well, the thing
Yes or no?
is that they know, they kind of have a baseline reading that they know how each other feels, but it's kind of a, if you don't feel this is the right time to do this, that's fine. That's why I'm saying it's really in your court.
I know John's doing
Just go for it. Just go for it. What do you do?
Roll for it.
No, this is
Odds or no?
no.
Yeah.
This is there's something she wants to do, but I'm gonna help her get to this.
They're gonna do this.
That was gibberish. Just okay. What is the first action after she puts down the wine glass that she wants to do? And I'm gonna take over the narration.
In the kitchen.
That's fine. That's fine.
You put me on the spot.
I know. You got this.
People are gonna think I'm dumb now. They're like,
No, it's okay.
She's so dumb. She can't even do
Like I
this
said,
thing.
just give me the first action she does after
And then
she puts down the wine glass.
and then. Well, they already know their feelings, right? Like
Yes.
it's there. It's so
It's
there.
so there.
So whatever she does, it's just gonna be at this point. Whoosh, you know what I'm talking about?
If she yes.
Okay. Well,
So just tell me the first action
when
she
is
does.
she gonna go? Hang on.
Let's start from here. So she puts down the wine
Wine
glass.
glass, and then from there, sorry, I'm like 12 apparently. I
It's
can't
okay.
do this.
It's okay.
So she puts it down, and then from there, she just kind of leans in and kisses him because she knows it's there. So she might as well.
She kisses him.
Yes.
Okay. And I will take over the
Thank
narration
you,
from
because
there.
I'm struggling.
No, in my notes.
Mhm.
I just wanted to know the first action anyway.
Okay. Ooh, thank you.
The ball is confetti.
One kiss turns into 3, which
Yeah.
turns into 5, which turns into you on top of him.
Oh yeah.
Which turns into you like undoing his hair and him undoing yours, which turns into you shirtless on top of him and him shirtless. And the reason why I'm illustrating to this point is as you go to take off his shirt, you pause for a moment and you notice just how big the mark on his shoulder is getting. And you kind of instinctively, as you stop, you just kind of put a hand on it and he kind of interlaces his fingers with yours. And he just looks at you. Don't worry about that. You said it yourself, it'll be okay. Let's not think about that. And we pan to the fireplace. Y'all, and then they fucked.
Stole my
The
joke.
Falcon just said it, announced
Yeah.
it, and they fucked.
Yeah, and then they fuck.
Stole my joke of the fireplace.
Pan to the fireplace. There we go. We have now get to change the music.
Well,
Not to that, no.
They've already done that.
We are on.
Royalty-free version. Sorry.
We are. It is ritual day. All throughout the morning into the afternoon, Emery has been waiting with Ashran as she and Rinnill administer the last lesser restoration and tonic to help keep things at bay. Avery and Na'ria stand right outside the door, hands interlaced with one another, waiting with bated breath to see if the potion will be made. You wait. And you wait some more. The better part of like 6 or 7 hours goes by, and it is so tense. And in that period of time, Borith, Nicholas, and Wamedi are in there now too. They're standing there waiting with bated breath, waiting to see if Uncle Cassius was able to successfully make the potion. He... Actually, because he's got the instruction to roll at advantage. Okay.
This tells me the first roll was not that good.
I forgot that he still had... He was doing this in the library, because depending on the situation, there'd be advantage or disadvantage. You guys did really good that first task, so at least the first 2 successes allotted him the advantage making the potion. He walks out, finally. Door opens. And in his hands are 2 potions. Avery, Emery, to the center, please. Avery lets go of your hand, and you immediately follow him as everyone crowds in the study area. He hands Emery the potion and hands Avery the potion. Now, by drinking this potion, you will be forfeiting all vampiric powers for 12 hours. The way this works in Dampiers is it sucks out the vampiric side and allows the human side to slowly purge this curse out of you. And once the 12-hour mark is hit, and once we can confirm that the sickness has been pulled out of you. I know what you're about to fucking say. Don't say it. We will make up the potion to restore yourselves to your proper beings. Now, this may not be an end-all. The curse may slowly start to show itself depending. But this will, at least, buy you lots of time. Decades of time. Emery, are you ready? And he sits up with help from Rinnill and Ashrin. I'm ready. Handsome. That's right, he already has the potion. He's holding it. Avery, are you ready? He looks over at you. He nods. I'm ready. Then we drink of this potion. 2 brothers in solidarity. Drink to cleanse a curse from a strong bloodline. And they drink the potion that he has. All of a sudden, you see as the 2 Fairnights start to keel over. You see as a radiant light starts emanating from Emery, who finished his potion first, and then Avery. Avery keels down to one knee, but Emery falls out of his seat. They are both in agony for the better.
I thought we were helping them stand.
No, he sat up, and he fell out of his seat, and he is convulsing. And as everyone starts to try to reach out, he's like, "No, this is how it has to be. Trust me." And as they both throw their head backs and scream. You watch as a blinding light flashes. Emery and his silver highlights of his hair are now gone. Fangs disappeared. Avery, his black hair is now just straight black, with slight hints of the white that he had from his human side. Fangs now gone as well. Everyone starts to crowd over and try to pull him up, and you pull him up. Avery is hurt, but you now notice the black doll is now a red glow. Same on Avery's shoulder. You go to Avery, making sure he's okay, and he's like, "It hurts, but I'll manage. you and Rinnill go to Emery, and he's like, I can start to stand a little bit. And you help him up. And as you stand up, you hear on the outskirts of the town, for the crest, for General Hall, and for the good people of Ivanora.
And then we're back.
I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's a 20, right?
D20, yes.
Okay.
And then Dex is up here, +1.
Rinnill rolled a natural 20.
I rolled a 17 plus 1, so 18.
17 plus 1, 18.
I got 13.
13. Okay. Let me see what the dex save was.
Grog is not helping me there.
Well, hold on.
Shit,
So
no,
for,
Grog.
let's see, for the Fairnights and for the...
Shit, no, Vex. Damn it.
Okay. Luckily, you and the Fairnights just barely succeed.
What was it,
Sucks
12?
for them because
It was 12.
they became
Jesus
humans.
Rock's falling Ashley. She dies.
Everyone else is able to dodge out of the way as a large explosion erupts in the massive chamber leading in. What was not known is they have an arcane charger that just fired a 9th level fireball at the castle. You hear the sounds of guards storming through the front. And familiar to you two and Rinnill, the bones starting to form and start to go after the enemies that are storming this castle.
Oh, those skeletons. Good times.
Unfortunately, all the skeletons do, aside from maybe getting one poor fuckhead that cannot contain himself, are easily slain but are slowed down.
Unless the townspeople had bones to pick with them.
Well, this is the Ivanoran Crest that are
They're
storming.
still townspeople.
It's true.
They come from
But as they storm the castle, or the manor, excuse me, they storm the manor. You hear the sounds of what sounds like hundreds of individuals. That's where we're going to take our break. Alrighty, guys. That is our break. I'm going to leave it on this really heavy drumming. When we get back...
No, put in softer music for the break. What's wrong?
No, we need to keep the tense shit. Okay, fine.
It's for them, not for us.
Fine.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, right? So, if I can remember which one has that. There we go. So, thank you guys so much for joining us so far. If you've enjoyed it, please sit tight. When we come back, we are going to be going into the escape of Fairnight Manor. So, see you guys in a little bit. Welcome back, everybody, to the second half of May Yawning. No, that's funny because the camera wasn't even on you. So, when I realize where I need to go, it's up there we are.
Now the camera zooms in.
Right.
Yawning a third time. I'm dropping your dice.
So we have entered the escape from Fairnight Manor.
We're in the end game now.
We're in the end game now, boys. So during the break, what I ended up doing was throwing my fucking dice.
We're done.
What I ended up actually doing, there is a system I'm going to be doing for this escape. I had everyone roll initiative, and I took the average initiative. So when we're out of combat, we have a general initiative for the Fairnights, the tavern crew, the players, and the enemies. I also took your individual initiatives for any encounters that come up in this escape plan. So, if we need to get to the board, I'll draw stuff up on the board really, really fast, quick. But that is where everything begins.
Yay!
Unenthusiastic children.
The unenthusiastic children laughing. So,
Yay!
we've already rolled the initiative. As the fireball crashes and you hear the sounds of everyone storming the castle, you know that it is do or die time. It is time to go. First in the general initiative are the Fairnights, who, one holding on to you and one holding on to you, are like, we need to get going, and are using their actions to start moving everyone out of the chamber. Avery, realizing that he's not nearly as incapable as he was, lets go of you and rushes over to his brother to grab him. And they start trying to make their way through the back entrance behind the initial entrance of the library. You have the right entrance that goes to the library proper. This back entrance is a purposeful secret entrance that was left open in the case of an escape, and it is good that that has been needed. As they start going, next is the NPCs, which is our tavern crew. Tavern crew consists... I gotta bring up their names again. Tavern crew consists of Borith, Nicholas, and Wamedi. Sorry, it's so weird to see with them. It's Wamedi. So is
Wamedi.
So the three of them, as soon as they see the Fairnights take off, they're like, all right, they need to kind of book it, and they use their speed and agility to at least have Borith go and take the charge and go ahead, being the big man that'll be able to take on anything that comes from the direction that they are going. Next in the order is us in general. Is there anything that you guys want to do, or are you guys just following suit?
I'm gonna follow suit. Because we don't... Well, there's a bunch of enemies, right? Like, and there's fire and stuff.
The fireball exploded. It's all kind of on fire. Mm-hmm. You hear people coming, and the guards sound like they're getting close.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna book
You're just gonna book it?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow everyone else.
Was there any support thing that you wanted to do, or are you just going to...
I'm trying to see.
Mm.
Druids have a lot of spells. That's the...
So do clerics at this level. It's okay.
The thing is, I'm more familiar with cleric spells. Druid spells are a whole different thing.
So is there anything you are considering doing? And if so, would you like to go first?
They just basically blew up the door, right?
They blew up the top section of the door, and like they blew out the door, and the whole top area has now been blown open because they basically catapulted. Like, it was an arcane catapult that had a charged fireball that went off right as it touched in on this section of the Fairnight Manor.
No, why did I pick a druid? It's intimidating as shit.
If you don't know what you can do, maybe Rinnill going.
I had a few different things I was thinking of.
Okay. What were you thinking of doing?
Because we're trying to get out in a hurry.
Yes.
I was going to shift to a creature that would help me put Emery on my back and run with him.
Okay.
I was thinking of that or spike growth.
Spike growth?
For the guards to run towards.
I'll just say that Rinnill has that covered if you want to focus on Emery. So if you want to wild shape or polymorph, you want to are you going to polymorph or what are you going to do?
I'm trying to see what wild shape actually.
All right. Well, while you're doing this, as you see them going, you start booking it. All of a sudden, you hear a massive, loud crashing as you see Rinnill with his hands out, throwing up this massive wall. But there's no stone. It is completely made of fire, as he has cast Wall of Fire.
Yeah, wall of fire.
And that is at... Where's Wall of Fire? Wall of Fire is a 4th level spell. So he casts Wall of Fire in an effort to try to block off people. While you're figuring out, are you going to be changing it into an animal? So basically, are you going to be changing it into an animal and then getting out?
With him on my back.
With him on your back, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. While you figure out what animal you want to go for, I'm going to go through the what's going on with the...
It says at 8th level I can do max challenge rating of 1. So that would be like what, large beast?
Yes, if I remember correctly. You need me to bring it up for you real quick?
I've got animals, I just...
Okay, alrighty, yeah.
Because, like, it just says, like, max... For the beast shape, it gives, like, the levels, the max CR rating, limitations, and then example of an animal.
Yes.
But it doesn't give sizes.
Why, what are you looking to change into?
Like a direwolf?
A direwolf?
Because that's a large beast.
For the sake of the roleplay section, this is just me not, like, realizing that I should have had animals ready for you, and I do apologize for that.
I have animal stats here.
I should have had some ready. What's the challenge rating on a direwolf?
1.
Okay, yeah. So you watch as a wall of fire, as you look over your back as you're starting to run, a wall of fire like takes over the front door, or what was left of the front door in the opening. It stands 60 feet tall, and then you see her change into a direwolf and go after Emery. The guards that are storming, that was such a clutch move. Guards that are storming, they need to succeed on a dexterity saving throw.
Which was a fire?
Your thing. I completely didn't think of it. Ooh, okay. What is it? They fail. Alrighty. So...
And you fail.
Yeah. So, these guards, and these are just simple guards from the firewall, because they, in general, failed on their dexterity saving throw. Oh, that sucked. Take 5 points of damage. Oh wait, no. 2, 4, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7. They take 7 points of damage. Excuse me. I rolled 2 twos and 3 1s. But it does stop them as they kind of start blocking up the passageway. As you guys start going, top of the order, the Fairnights, they're just going to keep running. Emery's going to see you show up as a direwolf, and Avery's going to use his action to get you up on, to get Avery, or to get Emery up on you, and that way he can start running at a general pace so you guys can start booking it. Same with the NPCs, same with you guys. As we get to the enemy's turn, we are on our first trap check. As you guys are running down the corridors, you guys turn a corner, go down a straightaway, turn another corner, and it opens into a slightly larger corridor. And you know from days prior when Avery was going through, or from the day prior when when Emery was going through with the tavern crew, kind of breaking down the schematics of everything. That this is the first trap that he had reset in order to try to keep you guys safe. This is a drop down floor, and you guys, I need 2 people on this one. I'm going to have Nicholas stay behind. I need one of you 2 to stay behind to perform a dexterity check to see if you can successfully go off the trap. So Well, you're a wolf right now. You know what? I'm going to say you're out of it. I'm going to say you stay behind with Nicholas' song, and you guys both roll.
I love singing this song.
Yeah. You guys are going to roll a dexterity check. So there's going to be, just add your dexterity. Yeah, just add your dexterity modifier. 17. Nicholas is struggling. The pressure, he's a bard. He's good at support. He's good at buffing. He's not really good at pushing down strong bits of stone. You're like, oh my fucking god, you idiot tiefling. Pushes down.
Idiot tiefling.
And as some guards start coming out, you push down and the floor drops down, instantly killing like 10 guards. As soon as you push it down, he's like, yeah, I knew I'd get it. And you're just like, no.
Inward facepalm.
Right. So, you guys keep going. You guys keep curving back and forth. The enemies, let's see, are they going to still stay? Okay, they succeed on an athletics check, which means that they have been slowed down, but they eventually find their ways to acrobatic their way out of harm's way in this giant fucking pit. It's a spike pit, basically.
It's like Castlevania season.
Kind of, yeah. So,
Too soon.
the next area, you guys curve around, and it's a long way, or it's a long corridor that's kind of going downwards as you guys open into an even wider room. And as it gets into a wider room, you notice it's pretty wide, and what you all remember is there are a bunch of triggered explosives in this room. Avery stops at the end of the room and holds you aside and says, hey, help me trigger this. So roll another dexterity check with him to see if this succeeds. You guys wait for the guards.
13.
13? Okay. So you two are at the end and you're waiting to light the match to start the trigger for the explosives. You hear some of the guards start to round the corner. You go to strike the match. You go to strike the match again. Go to strike the match a third time. This match is not lighting. You look over as Avery is struggling as well until he finally gets a light and lights his end. He goes over to your side and lights your end and throws the match in the room. He's like, come on, we gotta go. And you guys keep going. He just beat the DC. He rolled a 15. It was a 14 to make. So you just missed it. He just made it. So as you guys keep going, as the guards start crowding the room, you hear a loud explosion and loud amounts of screams. You guys have taken out 10 more guards. Here's where things get a little crazy. So in the order of everything, you're up front with Emery. Then it's the half-orc and the half-elf. Then it is Rinnill. Then it is Nicholas. Then it is you and Avery. You guys are going in that order, and it is a very tight area. All of a sudden, as you guys keep going through these tighter corridors,
is the direwolf able to fit in there, or do I need?
It's not tight in the sense that you got to sneak into like a really small crevice. It's just more narrow. Okay. Your speed is slightly slowed. Like
I just didn't know if I needed to revert back or not.
Not quite yet. If you, we'll get to that in a little while. So as you guys are going through these tighter corridors, you start hearing you see turning the corner 3 were-rats wearing the crest of the Ivanoran Crest running after you guys. I need you guys to just do a straight roll for me.
Not adding anything?
No, just a straight roll.
Huh.
What'd you get?
10. What'd you get?
13.
I got an 8.
We're doing great.
What did they roll?
We're doing great.
Okay. Perfect. So, as you guys are going, the were-rats are catching up. But you remember, as you start getting nervous, you still have a chance. You still have a chance to trigger a trap. You start getting in a more narrow corridor as you realize you need to revert back. So you are nudging Emery for him to get down. So you stop momentarily as he gets down and you revert back. And then you grab him and you guys keep going as quickly as you can. I need you and Rinnill are going to try to trigger this next trap. Because of the failed escape attempt, it's at disadvantage. 10! No! Oh my fucking god.
That one's cocked. I'm gonna reroll that one. Oof. I already got a nat 1, so. Oh, and I got a nat 20 too!
Are you ready for this? I got a nat 20 and a nat 1.
I got a nat 1 first and then a nat 20. We are fucked.
You guys go to trigger the trap, right? And this trap... where was it at? This is a trap of silver arrows. You realize that this thing is stuck.
Great.
And it's stuck. And it finally pushes in. Not at the correct time. I need you, and I'll have Rinnill roll a dexterity saving throw as this thing misfires.
Dex.
Okay.
16.
You watch as you were able to quickly dodge. Rinnill, however, you notice has a massive arrow now stuck in his arm.
Ow.
He takes 6 points of damage.
That's not.
Say that to yourself. He takes 6 points of damage.
I play clerics all the time, trust me. I know.
He takes 6 points of damage
But for brevity.
as the trap has been sprung prematurely, and the were-rats are on your ass. You get out into an open area as the were-rats jump out, quickly luring around, looking and blocking off the way you need to go for your exit. It's time to enter combat.
Yay. You've already got initiative right up here. Is that all?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
At the top of the round, Avery, seeing that situation that's going down, he attempts to skirt past a were-rat. So I'm just going to kind of draw this out real quick. I'm not going to do grids. I'm not going to fuck with...
We don't have time for that.
Let's say I'm not going to fuck with making a grid or anything like that. I'm just going to kind of draw where everybody is. So, came from here, opens up into this giant tower. We have one goes here, one is skirted over here, one is skirted here. And then we have...
Is it dark outside?
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Well, there's like torches lit, but still.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's the Tavern Crew, Fairnight, and then we have Neil, and up here. Would you say that you? Oh, that's right. You and Avery would be together, right?
Okay, so
I want to say you and Avery were together. So.
next in the lineup after Nicholas, it was me and.
Okay. My crudely drawn map.
So it looks like a test.
Kind of. So Rinnill and Ashrin are over here. The Fairnights are right here. You're right next to Avery. This is the Tavern Crew.
With
The
a K.
X's with the K. Tavern Crew, yeah, with the K, because they're cool. They're
The
cool.
Donkey Kong.
The Donkey Kong, yeah. Tavern Crew. So I completely forgot crew was spelled with a C. Completely forgot that. Anyway, so top of the round is going to be Avery and Emery. So Avery, seeing the situation, is going to try to move up here. And they are going to get swiped at by this were-rat. Let's see if this were-rat even hits them. For the general AC.
Why is it being erased?
Because they're going to be moving. So, they catch the clothing of Avery as he goes to move his brother, but does not take any form of damage at all. They have to be very careful on this. So they are trying to get over here. So this is where they're at right now. Next in the order is going to be enemy 2. So this one's going to take a look at you, Na'ria, and it's going to just growl at you. And he's going to, what I'm going to have him do, he's going to take 2 attacks against you. So, that's going to be a, where's the plus? That's just plus 2. It's going to be a 13 to hit. Does 13 hit? Your armor class is what it needs.
17.
Okay, so it doesn't hit. Natural 20.
Ouch.
Alrighty, so natural 20 obviously hits. I'll let you know what the damage is going to be. Let's see. He's going to... Alright, so it's going to be 2d4. Okay, so... Oh my god. Oh man. So you're going to take 7 points of damage as the first one misses, but the second one swipes at you really hard. This fucker hurts. But that's okay, because it is now Rinill's turn. Rinnill, seeing that that one is attacking you, is going to ready his light crossbow and is going to fire his shot over at that rat right over there. So he's going to fire the crossbow. Natural 20. So that is 4d6. Oh, man. Oh boy! Okay. Oh wow. So 6, 12, 16, 18. So you watch as, and you guys remember that silver does damage to these was it lycanthropes is how you say the word? Mm-hmm. They do damage to these lycanthropes. And God, I'm trying to make sure that they can see me while I'm kind of like walking around and shit. I'll just rest this up here for now since I'm kind of just walking around and shit. Oh no, that's
Have a GoPro.
Yeah, right. Have a fucking GoPro. That's pretty good. There we go. But so he decides to as soon as he sees that one attack you, Rinill's just like, not today. And you see the silver seep into the blood of this were-rat, and you see the black start to come out. It's not regular blood coming out. He is looking pretty bad right now. That was 18 points of damage. That's a lot of damage. Alrighty, so after that, Ashrin, your turn. What are you doing?
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Let me update it in my...
How far away is that one over here?
The one over there is about 40 feet, I would say. Actually, it's a little bit of a bigger corridor. I'd say like 50 feet.
Which one of the closest ones is hurt?
This one right here.
That one's hurt.
That one's pretty hurt.
Okay. I'll do poison spray on that one.
Poison spray. All right, what are we doing? What's poison spray do?
Let me find it. Because it's a cantrip.
Now, just so you know, May, when we get to your turn in combat, you get 2 attacks. So whatever you decide you want to do, it's going to be 2 attacks.
So you have to succeed on a con saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. Let me bring
1d12 poison damage.
1d12 poison damage. Okay. Okay. So Constitution saving throw. What do I got to save against?
Hold on. What's the spell save DC?
Mm-hmm.
14.
Natural 19.
Fuck you.
Does he take like half damage for that, or is that just...
No. It's hit or miss.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Are you?
I am. I really am. So you guys...
Well, fuck me, I guess.
That's okay. So is there anything you want to do for your bonus action, or are you gonna...
What can I do? Like, pretty much nothing. I gotta stay with Emery. So.
Gotta stay with who?
I gotta stay with Emery.
That's true, yeah.
He's a little more hurt than
I thought
Avery
they were
is.
both here.
That's Avery, I thought.
That's both. The F is for the
both.
Fairnights.
They're both there, right?
Avery grabbed Emery and is moving him.
Yeah, they're
moving him
so
down
we're
that
all
way.
Here. They're over
So
here.
yeah, Avery is close to Emery right now.
Fuck it, I'll just stay there.
Stay there? Okay. Next is Na'ria. What are we doing?
I'm just gonna use my longbow.
Longbow. You gonna do 2 attacks on the longbow? Alrighty. Go ahead and for your first attack, roll the d20, and then you're going to add. You're gonna add this number right here.
Okay, this is a 6, so plus 3. Is this a 9 or 6?
It's a 6.
Oh, okay.
The dot will be at the bottom of the number.
Oh, I see. Okay, so 9.
First one you watch is you shoot it and just whoop, completely misses. Go ahead and roll it again for your second attack.
Same thing.
Ooh.
21.
That hits. Go ahead and roll your damage. So that's going to be what? 2... Is that 2d6?
Okay, longbow?
No, 2d8.
2d8.
Okay, so go ahead and roll the diamonds.
The little
Roll
sieves.
2
This?
diamonds, yes.
No, that's a d4.
This thing.
Oh, this?
Yeah, so
Yes.
roll that twice.
How do you know this is a 2d6?
No,
It's 2d8.
It's 2d8. Sorry, it's 2d8.
Okay,
So roll the
Roll
diamond.
that one twice.
Okay.
3.
And a 6.
3 plus 6. So that's 9 points of damage.
Good up.
Roll one more d8 for me. Roll it one more time. 6. Okay. So that was 3. Okay. The first arrow misses, but then you go to shoot the second one, and you happen to hit it right in the spot of the second one. As that one hits, you see as his eyes, him trying his hardest to pull the to keep the life in his eyes. The silver hits a second time, which is what that extra d8 was. And he watches his eyes roll in the back of his head, and he falls over dead.
This one dead?
This one is dead.
Where'd the marker go?
What?
Where'd the marker
Oh,
go?
I got it right here. Sorry. Next are going to be our tavern crew.
The TKs.
The TKs! So the tavern crew. So Nicholas is going to inspire the two of them, so they'll have a D6 or a D8 to each to add to their rolls. That's going to be his main thing he's going to do. So Borith is going to attack. Actually, Borith is going to rage because he is a half-orc barbarian, and he is
Yes, of course.
right. Yeah, and he is going to attack. Ooh, oh, that just hits with the inspiration. So he slams down. Now, I don't have the stats for a barbarian. It's just kind of for show. So he does. Ooh, boy. He slams into him for. Oh, that's right. Dude. Yeah. I'm just going to do one attack for each, even though I know that the rules are different for each person. Just so you know, they're
I'm gonna look it up.
for barbarians, yeah. Do they have multiple attacks?
I think at a certain point they do. Yeah.
I want to say they do, yeah.
Let's see if that's forward.
And then, so that's...
Fuck, it depends on what path they took. Okay, so let me see.
You know, I'm just going to say they rolled 2d6.
Level
Just
5, they get extra attack.
they get extra attack. Okay, so 11 for the first hit.
So just say that they attack twice.
Yeah, I'll just say I'll just do and I'll just say he's got like a great axe that he's slamming into. So it'll be 2d6 for the damage. So that'll be alrighty. So then he goes to attack a second time. That is again just barely hit. So he does another 7 points. Is it what's the raging? What do they add if they're raging?
Oh god, okay.
I know I'm asking my player for help on this.
Especially with a class we've never done before.
I know, I've never done this class either.
What am I looking at?
Attack for rage.
Uh,
Do they add anything when they're raging?
I don't see anything.
Okay, that's fine. Then we're good. Okay, so another 7 points of damage. Alrighty. And then,
What is he attacking with?
like a great axe.
When you make a melee weapon attack using strength, you gain a bonus to the damage roll that increases as you gain levels as a barbarian.
Okay, well, what's the bonus then? Like I said, I'm not doing this.
It depends on the table, apparently.
Just don't worry about it then. I'm just gonna roll general damage for now.
Oh wait, rage damage should be fine.
Okay.
Be +3, I guess.
+3.
That's rage damage.
So -3.
Since you're level 10 with him, you can have 4 rages.
Okay, that's fine. So he, man, you watch as he just slices into the first time, and then slices into the second time, and he ducks down and looks over at the bartender, and he's just like, you know what to do, and he's going to roll. That is a natural 15 with his crossbow. That hits. So that's going to be, they're outfitted as well. That's going to be 2d6 points of damage. Oh man, that guy is extremely hurt. You watch as soon as the it's time to kick ass and chew bubblegum kicks in, the half-orc slice, and dips down as the half-elf raises his crossbow and shoots it right into the neck, watching the silver start to pulsate. He is barely hanging by a thread. Unfortunately, it is his turn. He is going to use his multi-attack on the half-orc. None of those fucking hit. Tries to swipe at him and then bite at him. Doesn't fucking work. This one, however, is going to move right in front and try to take a swipe at Emery. So he's going to take a swipe at Emery. It's natural 4. And he's going to try to bite at him. Natural 2.
The marker.
Oh, yeah, here. Go ahead. I'll let you keep track of the marker. So he's going to be right to flanking on that side right there.
Right here?
Side?
On this, right there, yeah.
Oh, in front?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like to the side of him right there. Because they're going that way. And
Flanking would be on this side.
yeah.
You said, earlier you said right in front of him.
Sorry. So, unfortunately, that ends his turn. Top of the round, we are to Avery and Emery. Avery, seeing what's going on with this guy right here, is just going to keep moving, and he's going to take the attack of opportunity. Let's see if any.
Wait, where's he at?
Avery is carrying Emery.
They're right
Oh.
there. It's
So
stuck
he's going to
together.
take the attack of opportunity, which
Falls to the floor.
Which falls to 4, which that hits. What do they roll for damage? 1d4. They take 2 points of damage. That's fine. So Avery and Emery get swiped for 2 points of damage. Sorry, I'm just kind of bringing this up right now. I'm just keeping track of everyone's HP. Okay. So, while that happens, they take the attack of opportunity and they get all the way up to there, trying to
Right
get.
here?
Yes. They basically get in there in order to try to get out of harm's way. Next in the order is going to be Rinnill. Rinnill turns his attention to the other way and is going to fire his crossbow at this where we're at right here. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He misses on that attack. He fires and it kind of jams a little bit, and he's able to dodge out of the way as the shrapnel from the arrow fires, but it fires over to the side, completely missing him. Bonus action. Not much he's going to be able to do for the bonus action. Carry it to.
He can run. He can move.
He's going to, at this point, he's going to start moving. He's going to move to the other side of Na'ria over there. So he's going to be right in front of
Who
you.
is?
Rinnill.
On the R.
Right
The
here?
R, yes.
Right here?
Yes.
Yes.
So he's going to move over there.
There we go.
So that leads us to.
I was like, he's a cleric. He can move too.
That leads us to Ashrin. Your go.
I'm gonna run over to the other rat that
is here.
You gonna run over? Okay.
Right here?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna go over to the one he was attacking and just whack him with my staff.
Whack him with your staff. All right, go ahead and give me an attack.
Alright, how do I do this?
So just roll plus whatever the.
I don't have a bonus.
I'm gonna say plus your strength.
Because I rolled the damage and what kind of thing I was.
Just go ahead and roll plus strength.
I'm sure there's something in
Just for the sake of this, roll plus strength.
there. God damn it.
What'd you roll?
5.
5. You go and it just
That dice is
whoosh,
failed now too.
whoosh, completely miss. I don't think. But you are flanking him now. For Na'ria, it is now your turn. You're gonna move around to fire there. Move to right there.
To fire that one. So I'll move right here
Okay.
with my very lovely end.
That's all good.
And
It's all good.
And I'm gonna use my bow on here.
That one. Okay, cool. Go ahead and fire. Go ahead and roll for your first attack. Roll the d20. Natural 20. Oh, shit. Okay. You're going to need some dice.
I'm in.
Well, it's 2d6. Is it 2d6 for the longbow?
2d8.
2d8. Okay, that's right. It's 2d8.
Remember the Sims diamonds.
So take the one of your diamonds. Roll these 3 with it as well. No.
Not that one.
Not that one.
The one you were using.
The triangle. The one you were using. The one with the 6 right now. That one.
Oh.
Yeah.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
This
And then-
looks more like a centaur.
Sorry.
So all of them?
Just roll all of them and add that up for your damage.
5, 9, 10, 17.
17. Ooh, nice. And that's just the first attack.
Oh yeah, she takes 20 stuff.
Yeah, she gets 2 attacks. So 17.
Is she even gonna need it?
So I'm just because that one up there has not been hurt yet. So I'm just
Because it's
calculating
further
them.
away.
What's up? Yeah, because it's further away. All right, so go ahead and roll your second attack then.
This one?
Yes.
The 20.
Natural 20. Oh
Now
my
roll those
god!
4 again.
Roll those 4 again. Oh.
11, 14, 18.
Okay. You watch as fucking Legolas over here goes and like slides on her knees and then stands up. Thoop, thoop. First one sinks in. Silver really starts choking in. And then as he starts to scream, the second one catches into the back of his throat. He falls limp immediately. That guy is now dead. Oh,
He's
man.
dead as dicks.
He is dead as dicks.
Fix this.
And Dixie pretty dead.
Leads us to the tavern crew.
Okay.
The half-orc, seeing how hurt this last rat is going to roll 2 attacks. First one, okay, I'm not even going to need to roll damage for this. Unless for whatever reason.
I
Oh
was
yeah,
gonna say
that'll
he's
do
gonna
it.
roll to run away.
That'll do it. Well, it's not even his turn yet. So, as you watch Rinnill and company take out the first one, you watch Na'ria just fucking shoot the shit out of the second one. You see Borith, seeing that the were-rat is still barely standing there. It's like, oh, come on. Slams one more time right into the center of the skull, bashing it open.
It's
and
dead.
it is completely fucking dead. Oh, man.
And now we're done. I guess.
We are now back on the chase. We're back on the chase, boys.
That is our goal. Right
Freedom. F for freedom.
You guys, F for freedom,
there.
yeah.
Fuck.
Fuck yeah. So, as you guys are running through, you kind of take a moment and you look back and you're like, oh,
Well, y'all take a moment.
that was pretty bad. And as you guys take like a brief moment, it's like a few seconds to kind of catch your breath. You notice that the next area that you guys are going to is starting to open back up again. Do you use another spell slot to transform back, or are you going to stay as yourself?
I'm just gonna stay as myself this time.
Okay, so as you guys are running, all of a sudden, from way up above, you start hearing it sounds like that they are just up above bombarding the castle with fire and arrows and anything that they can get. As things are starting to collapse, things are starting to fall through the floor now. You guys are able to catch yourselves in certain points of time as you feel vibrations. The only silver lining is the guards that are chasing you seem to have now been distracted with being caught in the line of fire of their own Ivanoran Crest group.
Good job.
So, as you guys continue onward, you notice what was supposed to be one of the tunnels leading to the last corridors to get out of here. In order to get to the teleportation circle that has been prepared and is ready to go by Uncle Cassius. You guys are realizing that the ground has now kind of collapsed with everything that's starting to fall. This is an athletics check for trap 4. I need you guys all to roll. Oh, before we do that though. As you guys go and run, or you get there, the tavern crew jumps over first. So they... Ooh. Okay, there we go. So the first one jumps and kind of starts to slip a little bit. He's on the edge. The second one jumps. Same thing. The third one, the half-elf, jumps over and kind of catches himself, turns around, grabs the other two, throws them down. He's like, all right, big guy, we need your help. Helps get the half-orc up, and the half-orc stands there ready to help catch people. Now we're going to have everyone roll to jump across the cavern.
You said this is athletics?
Athletics, yes. Okay.
Athletics is strength. Strength.
Oh, 16. 19.
19.
14.
Okay. So, you watch. Rinnill goes first. He jumps. He gets there. He kind of stumbles for a moment, but then steps forward. He's good to go. Watch you jump. You jump over, and you guys watch as she kind of, again, make sure that she's okay. Steps forward. You're good. You jump effortlessly as you land right there. However, you look over and kind of teasingly go, beat that, honey, as he picks up his brother. Yes.
Oh my god.
And he jumps, holding his brother, and sticks the fucking landing. Borth holds up a 10.
You all.
You had that around the whole time?
This moment.
Just trying a bit. I'm doing a thing.
Trying a bit. I'm doing a thing. No,
Whatever, man.
It's not even that hard.
yeah, I rolled for Rinnill,
She just
and
mumbles.
I got 12.
She just mumbles. She's like, it's not really that hard. That's not impressive.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care.
You think you're hot shit over here?
You think you're hot shit over here? Yeah, you think you're cool? What the fuck you think you are? Cool or something? Nope.
Gay.
All right.
Mark Zuckerberg.
So y'all made it, right? Everyone made it?
We didn't die.
Yeah, that's good.
Woohoo.
You guys land down. You keep running. Turn a corridor. Turn another corridor. Finally, you find yourself out in the open. You're out of the back way. You turn around to look at what once was Fairnight Manor, completely up in flames. But you also notice something that you didn't realize had happened. Half of those explosions were not from the Ivanoran Crest. See, Uncle Cassius had a few tricks of his own, planting various traps for those that were trying to storm the castle. There were plenty more skeletons. There were plenty more fire arrows and fireballs to be thrown at. And with him retooling the front labyrinth to get to Fairnight Manor alone, they have completely thinned out what was once a massive army of 100 to 200 soldiers. You see in the distance maybe 30 left. Plenty of dead bodies are standing there scorched. And while you guys know that Fairnight Manor is gone for, you at least can breathe easily, for now at least, that those who were important, those in the slums, those who the Fairnights cared for, were at least taken to safety in order to not have to be a part of this, as there would have been more bloodshed. As you guys are making your way out of this open area, you see it right there. The open gate you see it right there. The open area that leads to the mausoleum that is which is the area where they have the teleportation circle taken care of. You guys are rushing as quickly as you can. You get the tavern crew in first. You get Avery in there. You get Emery in there. Na'ria going to chase after Avery. You freeze as you go to turn. Chink! The doors close in front of you. And you notice a light ember glow now shining from where the lock of this door shows up. You hear from behind you. You really think it was that easy? You didn't think I was hot off your ass the whole fucking time. As you turn around, you see Lady General Cara McCann standing before you. Blood falling from her head. You see chips in her armor as she sets down 2 scimitars.
Am I here too, or is it just her?
It's all of us. Okay. Everyone but the 3 of you, you 2 and Rinnill, were able to get through the door.
So it's just the 3 again.
It's us 3 again.
So it's an OG crew.
And she's kind of holding, her scimitars are down, and she's holding the something like this. We did not work to rid this vile scum from this town just to have 3 nobodies fuck it all up for us. But if I have to go down with this ship, I'm taking all of you with me. And you watch as her body, she starts to suck in and out, and she starts growing taller. You see fur starting to show up, these giant claws as she is busting out of her armor. Armor is being completely ripped to shreds as she falls to her knees, growing. You see light yellow fur with black stripes on it. You see the body transforming in front of you as she lets out a loud roar and grabs the 2 scimitars and looks at all of you. You're not getting out of here alive. Reroll initiative, everybody.
This is the number, right?
The number plus
12.
12, okay.
11.
12, 11, okay.
My dice just hate me tonight. Fuck me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say you are fighting a were-tiger.
I'm dwindling down here.
You guys are fighting a were-tiger, and...
I want to fight Atsushi.
Aww.
It makes me sad now.
But he's
Alright,
a good
so, Rinnill?
were tiger.
He is a
okay.
good
But we're not fighting him, we're fighting this bitch.
We're fighting this bitch.
This bitch.
Oh yeah, I don't remember her name. I wouldn't think that bitch.
Lady General Cara McCann.
I'm not gonna remember.
Lady General.
The werewolf lady.
LG, the flip phone.
Oh, I'll do the flip phone. Okay. Flip phone over here.
General flip phone.
There you go. I'm back.
Okay. All right. Let me draw the battlefield here. It is a wide open area. The door has been closed.
Would this be humanoid or creature?
This is a medium humanoid.
Sweet. Ask you for a friend.
So, we're in a wide open area right here, and then it leads to here. The door is right here, and May, go ahead and roll an Arcana check for me. So you're gonna roll 20 and add +1 to it because that's your Arcana. Okay. You know it's some sort of arcane lock that she just used, but
Fuck it, can I try too?
yeah, go for it.
Sweet. Ooh, hell yes. +2, 21.
This is an arcane lock of dispelling.
Oh-ho! Cool beans.
So within
I'm not going first, but cool beans.
Within this chamber, anything locked inside that chamber cannot use magic.
Wait, in the chamber?
In the chamber.
Are we in the chamber?
No, we're out. You guys are out of the chamber. You didn't make it in the chamber.
Sweet.
So that means any magic that the bard can use is out of the question.
So it's just us.
The teleportation circle cannot be fired up right now. So
Just
this
us.
is going to be... So it's Rinnill. And then... because you were about to go through. And then she is standing...
She was pretty close, wasn't she?
She was standing like kind of back a little bit, but this is like 30 feet.
Okay.
I'll let you keep track of that. Alrighty, top of the round. Oh.
Is the floor.
Is the floor, man.
They
The
grab-
top is the bottom now, my guys. There we go.
I don't know which way's up and which way's down anymore. Wait, what? Oh, flip phone.
It's her cell phone.
Lieutenant flip phone.
It's a lieutenant flip phone. I love it.
General flip phone.
Lady General flip phone. Alrighty, top of the order.
There's her wireless signals.
It kind of looks
I love it so much.
It kind of looks like a walkie-talkie.
It kind of does.
Oh.
It kind of does look like a
That
walkie-talkie.
kids is something that we used to use a
Yeah,
long time
that
ago,
is something
back
we
when
used
the
to use a long time
dinosaurs
ago.
roamed the earth.
Alright,
And the
Rinnill.
cavemen were around.
And the cavemen were hunting.
Top of the order is Rinnill. Rinnill.
Do the obvious thing.
What, the fireball?
No.
What's the obvious thing?
You just mentioned magic on the door?
Dispel the door.
Spell the door.
You ready for this? I don't have dispel magic.
I thought you said you
I
did!
thought I did, but no,
You lied.
I swapped it out for general repose. That's what I did.
You're the
You
only one.
lied!
I'm sorry, I forgot.
You're the only one then.
Son of a bitch, I had another thing planned.
Well,
Okay.
you.
Wait, what level is dispel magic?
You're.
It's 3.
No, I swapped it out. I don't have it.
You're
Sorry.
your only hope now.
Son of a bitch.
It's okay.
Cool.
So, I'm glad you. Okay. So, top of the round. Rinnill, frustrated that they were almost.
Oh, the flip phone's gone.
Yeah, I know.
That they were almost fucking
I didn't
out,
want to distract
man.
us from it.
He is going to.
Where tigers don't use flip phone.
War Tiger don't use flip phones
I'm a
already.
shark issue.
He is
True.
standing there
Menacingly.
menacingly. He is going to cast. Let me bring that up real quick.
Let's go look now.
Oh, it's right here. He is going to cast Scorching Ray at
The general.
3rd level.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
He upped it a level. So, Scorching Ray.
It's
Make a
fire.
ranged spell attack for each ray on a hit. Take 2d6, and then you get 1 additional ray for each shot. So he gets to roll 4 different times. So I'm going to mark off a 3rd level spell for Rinnill. So the first
What is
attack,
his fire damage?
Yes, fire damage. First attack. That is +5. That hits. So I'm going to do all the damage at once. Natural 16, that hits. 12 plus 5, 17, that hits. 4 plus 5, 9, that does not hit. So 3 of the 4 hits.
Nice.
So 1, 2,
Now you roll for damage.
and 3. Ooh, alrighty.
Pats the microphone. Good microphone.
6, 12, 18, 24, 29, 32. He, not having this shit, frustrated, puts his hands out. 1, 2, 3, 4. You watch, first one hit, second one hit, third one goes right past her head, and the fourth one hits right in her chest for 32 points of damage.
She's not wearing armor or anything?
Where tigers,
I know she shifted, but aren't they wearing...
the armor broke off of her.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
That's how, yeah.
That was easy.
It's a powerful attack
She
already.
is probably now on fire.
She is... Does it say anything about them being on fire?
It's fire damage and she's not wearing armor, I would assume.
Doesn't say anything about them catching fire afterwards, so...
Scorching ray, right?
Scorching Ray, yeah, there's nothing in the book that says about catching fire. But I will roll a dexterity saving throw, or a constitution saving. Sacred Flame, maybe? I don't know. But, yeah, takes 32 points of damage. She kind of comes back up, and also, I am going to say this so you guys remember now, where it is a lycanthrope, so remember what needs to be done at the end. Remember what actually kills these things. So, shoom, shoom, shoom. She, now looking at him, spins the scimitars and is going to make her multi-attack against Rinnill. So that is 2 attacks against Rinnill.
Oh boy.
First attack completely misses. The second one, she feels the pain and it falls and she drops her scimitar. The second roll was a natural one. But looks up at him. Next in the order, Ashrin, what are you doing?
I guess cast Dispel Magic on the door.
Okay. Roll a d20 and add your spellcasting modifier to it.
I was like, I gotta remember what it does. Okay, what am I rolling?
Roll your d20, add your spellcasting modifier, which I think is your wisdom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, your spellcasting modifier should be up there.
6.
You go to try to dispel it.
Is it too late to quit?
No. Try to dispel it, and it's not given.
No, if only someone else still had the spell.
Is there anything else you want to do bonus action wise?
The only other idea I have is hold person, but that's a spell. So fuck me. Again,
I'm sorry.
it's not your fault.
Also going to be honest, the DC to dispel that is really high as well.
Also, damn it, Pike.
Alrighty. Next in the order, Na'ria, what are you doing?
For the spears, do I have to get up close to use them?
It's going to take...
Here you can throw them?
You can throw them. You have them on your back. You're within range that there's not going to be a disadvantage. But when you throw them, you're not going to be able to use them again until you pick them up.
Okay, but I don't want to throw them.
Oh, you want to use one of your spears to stab.
The whoop whoop.
Okay, so you're going to go up... Or,
You'd have
okay,
to move.
so she's gone up... Sorry, so she's gone up to Rinnill.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
Right in front of
She
him?
moved up to Rinnill, yeah.
Like
Because
this?
she was trying to attack him with
Flip
her
phone
weapons.
lady? Okay.
Yeah, flip phone ladies. Yeah. Alright,
Okay,
so...
well then I'll go right here. Yeah?
Alrighty. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
You're going to go right there, and then you're
I'm gonna
going
go
to use your... So you're going to use your bonus action to swap to your spear,
Yep.
and then you're going to attack twice with the spear.
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead and roll your first attack.
Could I have moved closer to the door to try and keep like
Yes.
someone in between the door?
Yes.
So you're gonna go with her?
Yeah, she's going to be right at the door.
Okay.
I kind of assumed
Since
you
the
moved it
dispel
on.
magic didn't work,
Yeah, that's fine.
you just
Okay,
go up to the door.
so it's just the number I roll?
Number plus, so there's like a plus on your spear.
Right here, okay, so 17.
17 hits. And do you want to roll your second attack or do you want to roll your damage first?
Oh.
Damage is 2d6.
Alright, so 2 squares.
2 regular dice.
There you go.
That's 10.
10, okay.
Okay, and then go ahead and roll for your second attack.
6 plus
9.
So you get her in the side with her first attack,
Go
and then the second one, you go to move, and she kind of just pushes you like the spear away. Now she's taking her attention to you. Back to the top of the order, it is Rinill's turn. Rinnill, seeing that but not wanting to hurt anyone, is going to use his bonus action to grab his bonus action to grab his silver mace. And he's going to attempt to attack the were-tiger. That is, that definitely hits. So that is... Okay. He does 6 points of damage. Let me see my... Oh, thank you. So you watch as he grabs his silver mace and, like, attacks, catches her in the jaw a little bit. Doesn't do as much damage as he thinks he would, but he just stands there and he's kind of just keeping firm, trying to keep him distracted. It is now General Hall, or I said General Hall. It's the were-tiger's turn because I'm using the General Hall one for it. It is going to take its 2 attacks. It's going to do 1 to you and 1 to Rinnill. So it's going to attack. It's going to use its one arm to attack you and its other arm to attack Rinnill. So attack on you. That is an 18 hit.
I have a 17.
That hits. Okay.
Just barely.
That is plus 5 to hit, plus 3. Alright, you take 8 points of slashing damage. And then on Rinnill, what is it, a plus? That is a attack plus 5. 16. She goes to swipe and it catches the front of his armor plate, but it doesn't do any damage. That ends, let's see,
That's her turn.
that ends her turn. And next is Ashlyn. What are you doing?
I'm gonna cast Hold Person on her.
Ooh, you're going to cast Hold Person. Alright, what do I got to roll?
So let's see, Hold Person. Target must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for a minute.
Paralyzed for a minute. Okay. Natural 20.
Damn it!
You go to hold your hand out.
I quit.
It happens, babe. It really does.
It always happens.
What are your cantrips?
Druidcraft, Mending, Poison Spray, and Minor Illusion.
I will allow you to cast a can because you cast Hold Person. Your bonus action, you can cast another spell if you want to. So if you want to cast Poison Spray, you can cast Poison Spray.
I'd have to angle it past them, though.
You can. What you do is okay.
Probably add
So you go to hold the person, right? And she just looks and like you feel her kind of tense up for a moment and shake it off. You can move, so that way you can be between Rinnill and Na'ria to do the poison spray, so it doesn't hit them.
I'm gonna stay by the door.
Stay by the door. Are you gonna attack and use? Are you gonna use your bonus action?
I'm just protecting the door right now.
Okay.
Well, can
Spells are apparently
Can
failing.
she attack the door, the General Flip Phone lady?
No. So
Or so if no
the
one doesn't...
point of her
I'm keeping her from going.
The point of her closing the door is to take care of the biggest threat first, at least in her eyes.
Well, that's what I'm asking. So if we have no one protecting the door, she's not going to go after the door because she closed it on purpose.
She closed it on
So
purpose.
no one has to protect the door.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
She closed the door on purpose because she's
as
trying to
I'm-
kill us first and then kill the rest of the people in there.
But as far as I'm concerned, I'm keeping her from getting to the others because I'm not gonna know she's the one that closed the door. Anyone.
You could say your natural instinct is kicking in at that.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait.
She's-
So is everyone else just chilling here? They didn't go on the teleport circle. They're just chilling here waiting.
They can't activate it.
The door has
Teleportation circle is
it's an arcane lock of dispelling, which means anything inside like past that threshold
Basically,
cannot
they
use
cannot
magic.
do their shit.
Oh,
And
so-
teleportation is a form of magic.
So if the door is shut but there's no lock, it could still work. The teleportation circle.
If you guys break the arcane lock, which just trust me on this one.
Okay, I get it.
So, do you not want to use a bonus action at all, or you just
Like I
gonna stand?
said, my natural thing is just I'm trying
Trying to
make
keep
sure
it-
there's something
okay.
between the door.
Alrighty.
I get it now.
Alrighty, next in the order, Na'ria. What are we doing?
It's my pack mentality kicking in.
I get you. That makes
It's your what?
sense.
My pack mentality.
Since she's a druid
I'm a
and they're ones
druid.
with nature, yeah.
What's the pack mentality?
Basically,
Like when you're a
for
part
the
of a
good
pack.
of the pack. So I'm protecting the people.
It's a
behind
natural
the door.
instinct to be working for the good of the pack.
I was like, what's a pack mentality? What's that? Like Pac-Man?
The good for the good of Pac-Man.
Okay, Waka.
Waka waka, bitch.
I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm
Get
gonna
all the
use my
candy.
spear and I'm gonna go stabby.
Stab 2 times?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Roll for your first attack.
Plus
This 14.
14 hits.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the 2d6s.
So
Okay, I got mine this time.
Oh.
6.
6 points of damage.
Alright, roll 20 again.
Go ahead, roll d20 again.
19.
That hits. Go ahead, roll damage.
10.
10. Nice. So you watch as she just goes, huh, huh. You're stabbed right into her abdomen and then right underneath her, like right in between her ribs. And she looks at you and you see the silver starting to set in. She's starting to look a little bit on the worn outside. Go back to the top of the order. Rinnill is just going to try to attack with his mace. No, he misses. So he goes to swap, and it whiffs. She moves her hand and is not able to do anything. Leads us to the Weretiger's turn. It's going to... It is going to attempt to... It's going to do a bite attack against you. That's 14 to hit.
I have 17.
Okay, so that misses. And it's going to try to bite you again. 15?
No.
No. Damn.
Haha.
Damn.
Feel my pain.
I was going to do some cool shit, man.
Yeah, feel my pain.
Well, I say cool shit as playing the boss.
Feel
So
my
you
pain.
watch as she gets down on all fours and tries to bite once, bite again. And as you you dodge left, dodge right. And you're like, oh shit. Leads us to Ashrin. What are you doing?
Well, seeing as how whole person didn't fucking work, I'm gonna try and use Entangle.
Entangle. What do I got to do on that one?
You have to succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by the entangling plants until a minute later.
Oh boy.
So strength save.
Strength saving throw against, what's the number that I got to save on?
Is that spell save DC?
Yeah, spell save DC.
14.
Strength save? Alright. So you watch as you hold your hand out. And you see the plants starting to wrap around her because she's on all fours. Wrap around her upper torso. Pull her into the ground. She is now entangled.
Ha ha. Fuck her up.
Leads us to Na'ria. So they're I'm gonna say, because she was on the ground and it entangled, does she take any damage at all? Or just entangled?
No, she's just entangled.
Okay. I would say that the roots pulled her down and has knocked her prone. So you...
You can make a strength check on your next turn to try and get out.
Yeah. So that means you, on your next attacks, you got advantage on them.
Okay.
Because she is prone.
Oh, okay. She's prone to getting attacked.
Yes, prone to
Alright.
getting attacks.
Well,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna do the samey thingy.
Go for it.
Spear.
Still get advantage.
Oh.
Well, roll again.
Advantage.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's cocked though. It's mostly 20.
I'll give it to you. That's a natural 20.
Okay, cool.
Roll this.
So roll 2 of those. Roll that twice. So that's 7. And that is falling to the floor.
And 7.
14.
14 points of damage. Okay, now go ahead and roll your second attack. Roll it twice. See if you get a natural. Okay.
So plus 3,
19.
So got a 19. Go ahead and roll for damage.
7.
7. No, you only roll because the only reason I had you roll twice that first time is you got a natural 20.
Okay, so 7.
So 7. Man. Stabs once, stabs twice. She's starting to look pretty hurt. Rinnill, taking advantage of this now, is going to use his attack with his mace. He gives it an advantage. That finally hits. That is 6 more points of damage. You see him smash down, catching her right in the shoulder. You watch as the shoulder bone breaks.
Oof.
And she's like, "Rah!" And she is going to... You watch as this animalistic rage starts to build. And she starts to push up off the ground. This is a homebrewed thing. She, trying to shake off the silver, is going to push off and try to break out of, well, not much of the homebrew thing. I realize she still has hit points. And she's going to use her momentum to just push off and try to break out of your entanglement. So what does she got to succeed against again?
Strength save.
Strength save. Against what? What's
My
this?
spell save DC? 14.
Okay, natural 19. She... and then stumbles backwards. That is her movement.
Well, I fucking tried.
She uses her bonus action to grab her bow, and she's firing 2 attacks
She can
right at
use
you.
a bow? I thought
Yep.
she was a tiger.
They're bipedal.
Oh.
They're still humanoid.
Oh.
So 2 attacks against you.
Cool, I'm probably gonna get hit. FYI.
That is that is 14 to hit,
Yep.
and
My AC is 13.
10 to hit.
1 hits.
1 hits. Okay.
The first one hits.
First one hits. Okay.
Second one does not.
You take 7 points of damage.
Cool, my first damage of the night. This is what happens when you pick Druid, guys. They don't wear medals.
And that leads to Asher. You watch as she shoots the first arrow, hits you right in the shoulder, and it gets to the second arrow and completely misses, just like right past your head. Goes to Asherin. Your turn. What are you doing?
I'm gonna try Dispel Magic again.
Dispel Magic again. Go ahead and roll for Dispel Magic then. What level spell is that?
That is a 3rd level.
Are you going to try to cast it at a higher level?
Is there any effect for it at high level? I didn't get to look at it before you.
All I will say is for the sake of this lock,
Like, I want to see.
yeah, I think it's more
Just to
effective.
cover my ass. When you cast a spell using the spell level of 4 or higher, you automatically end the effects of the spell on the target if the spell's level is equal or less to than the level of the spell slot you use.
Okay.
Which means what exactly? Use it at 4 then?
I'm just asking what you want to do. What level?
It doesn't say anything for 5, but I guess level 5.
Motherfucker. Okay.
I have 2 5 slots.
Go
I
ahead
haven't
and
used any of them yet.
roll for me at advantage.
I'll roll 2 dice. God damn it. Okay. What is this for? What do I add to this? Wisdom?
Just add your wisdom modifier. 10. This is a really tough lock.
Why do I try for higher level?
However.
Put that in jail.
No.
No, one of them was a 1. I'm putting it in jail.
However, you feel and you notice, because you cast it at a higher level, something has broken in the middle of this arcane lock now. You have successfully lowered the DC to break this lock.
Sweet.
I figured because you cast it at a higher level, that's why I went, motherfucker, even if you had that natural 1, you still would have brought down the DC. You said 10? 10 is what you rolled?
Yeah.
You just brought the DC down by 10.
Sweet.
So, next up,
But it's still got the arcane lock.
it still has the arcane lock on it.
Alright.
Na'ria.
So I'm gonna go use my bow.
You gonna back up a bit?
Oh, I'm gonna go right here.
Okay,
Oh, that's really huge. Whoa.
she's gonna take an attack.
She's making her presence
So
known.
you're moving out of her attack radius. She's gonna take an attack of a swipe attack of opportunity against you.
Oh, why did I circle myself?
That's fine.
Um.
It's your turn. You circle
So an
yourself.
attack. She's gonna take an attack of opportunity against you, and that is an 18 to hit.
I have 17. Damn it.
That's fine.
Okay.
You take
fine.
Let's see. That's a swipe. That's a swipe attack. You take 11 points of damage.
Oh,
Roll a natural 6 on the d6.
Good job.
70.
How y'all looking?
I'm okay still.
I've barely taken a hit, so I'm okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna use my longbow.
Use your longbow. Longbow.
So roll a 20. And then add a 3.
That's 5.
Oh, for your second attack, roll your second attack.
7 plus 3 is
10.
10.
Oh,
I guess I should have stuck on my script.
you just go, thoop. The first one completely whiffs. The second one goes past her head.
She's stuck with
Unfortunately.
trying to make her a shish kebab.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, wow.
So
Ran.
close.
Ran.
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 L ran.
And I ran. Anyway, so,
Loran.
top of the round, Rinnill. It's going to try to attack. That is a 16 that hits. It's 2d6 of damage. Okay, so that is 7 points of damage. You watch Rinnill just hacking away, slams down again. You see the shoulder. He slams down this time, going for the knee, and you watch the knee break backwards and then re-pop forwards. She's looking pretty fucking hurt right now. Leads us to the were-tiger. She is going to attempt 2 bite attacks against Rinnill. That doesn't hit, and she's angry. I am rolling pretty shitty for her tonight. So she tries to bite down once, tries to bite down twice. She's trying to, pull him up and hold him in her mouth, but completely whiffs and misses that. Leads us to Ashrin. What are you doing?
Trying to do cool shit here.
Trying to do that cool shit, man.
I was thinking of 1, but it also would have hurt Rinnill in the process, so I don't want to do that shit.
He's got some HP.
Even for this, no, he does not.
Okay.
I'm cleric too, so don't
Don't be problematic, cleric.
don't think I don't know.
Don't think I do.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna try casting Moonbeam.
Oh, fuck. What does that do?
So, a silvery beam of pale light shines down in a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder centered on a point within range, which is 120 feet. So I can totally hit her.
Okay.
Until the spell ends, dim light fills the cylinder. When a creature enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, it is engulfed in ghostly flames that cause searing pain, and it must make a constitution saving throw. It takes 2d10 radiant damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one.
Okay. So they're not going to take the damage now, but when it gets to the beginning of our next turn, she's...
A shape changer makes its saving throw with disadvantage. Is
Okay.
this a shape changer? Because it's a were-tiger?
Technically, it isn't. Shape changers are like changelings.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to make.
Or mimics.
You have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, so make a Constitution saving throw.
Because it's starting its turn in here.
Fail. That's a fail. So that is two.
So
what? 2d10.
Yeah, 2d10 radiant damage.
Do you want to roll the damage?
Uh.
I can roll the damage if you need me to.
It's 2d10, so either way.
Okay, so that is 9 points of damage. Okay. Alrighty. She's looking really fucking hurt. She shoots back as she feels that ghostly fire energy just pouring out, and she cries out in pain. She's looking really hurt. Na'ria, your turn. Or sorry, do you want to move or do any bonus actions? I realize I've been really shitty with that. Do you want to move or do any bonus actions?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
No.
Alrighty.
I'm staying there.
Naria.
I'm gonna use the bow again.
Oh, come on, man. You got this.
Plus 3, 9 then, right? 9? Or,
Yeah.
okay, 9. And then do I roll again? Or?
So wait, so did you roll a 9 or did you...
No, I got
She
a
rolled
9.
6 plus 3.
Oh, yeah, that misses.
Try it one more time.
One more time.
So
Come
you
on,
got 2
man.
attacks.
Yeah, come on, man. One more time.
7
There you go.
misses.
That hits. Go ahead and roll
That is longbow, 2d8.
2d8s.
What's in this thing? 10.
The first... Holy shit. The first arrow you shoot goes past her on her good shoulder. The second one, however, catches her right in the broken shoulder. She cries out even louder. Leading to Rinill's turn. He's going to use his... Holy shit, that barely hits. You watch as she shoots up her moonbeam. You fire off your arrow into the broken shoulder, and he looks right at her and clubs her right up in the fucking jaw. You watch as he completely shatters and obliterates her jaw. You see the blackness start to engulf her face as she starts trying to yell. As this is happening, you watch as those roots that were trying to hold her start climbing up once more and climb into the remains of the fucking mouth. And just as you're watching, you're just like nature's running on its own, and you watch as she is just completely ripped apart after being completely poisoned by the silver.
Sweet. It's like Silent Hill.
So now that we're out of combat,
I fucking used Dispel Magic on the
Do you like
goddamn
my
block.
ditto?
I love your ditto. That's a cute one. So before you cast Dispel Magic,
Okay.
you watch as she is completely ripped apart. And as she falls lifeless, and you see her reform back to what's left of her natural form.
That's messy.
You see, like, the complete jaw, and, like, up to, like, the left eye socket is just completely ripped off.
Oof.
You see the broken shoulder is just a completely shattered, like, clavicle and shoulder. Her knee is bent the opposite way, and she is very much dead. And if you couldn't tell already, you see the blackness from the silver, which permanently stains any lycanthrope, starting to deteriorate her body. And you watch as she is turned completely to a skeleton, laying there with the remnants of her armor that she broke out of. As soon as the silver works its course, you go to dispel the lock, and you notice that the lock finally breaks. The doors immediately slam open. And you see Borith.
Let's try that again.
You see Borith completely out of breath. What in the hell just happened? No time. Come on, let's go. And he's pulling all of you guys in. And you guys are looking around, and you see who's been hiding there, who has a blood stain on his side, but looks like a normal blood stain, is Uncle Cassius. It looks like he got caught in some of the tower falling as the initial siege started. Rinnill goes over and casts Cure Wounds on him in order to try to heal him up, and you see the wound heal. And unlike with Emery or with Avery, the wound is healing at a normal pace, which allows you to breathe easy, knowing that this is not the work of a curse. So you heal him up. He heals him up. He's not completely done, but he gets up and he goes, "All right, is everyone ready? We only have 6 seconds to complete this and jump through. You all need to be ready. On my mark, we all jump." And you see Emery hanging off of you. You see Avery holding you close. You see Rinnill standing with the tavern crew, and they're all just ready to go as he does 3 final marks. Vroom! The arcane sigils light up, and the whole thing radiates a massive energy. Now, you guys all jump through.
And we all make dex saving throws. No, I'm just kidding.
No. You guys all feel weightless as you jump through the teleportation circle. You look at one another. Everyone is in this kind of arcane field, bouncing between planes. Until finally you feel, and your feet touch ground, marble ground. You're inside the basement of a castle. You're realizing quickly that this is Yalian Cancel? Wow.
Cancel.
Yeah.
Cancel
Yalian Castle. Lord Cassius rushes over, still holding his side a little bit as he's still not 100%. Opens up the lock. And as they open it up, you see what looks like 50 or 60 individuals in here. And it looks to be the entire population of the slum area of Ivanora. You guys take a breath. For a brief moment, realizing you guys did it. You escaped. You've gotten out of here. But then you immediately are distracted when you notice Emery. You notice Emery and you notice Avery are holding the spots where the curse is. The adrenaline distracted them from the copious amounts of pain that they would be feeling. Cassius looks at the two of them and is like, "Get them rooms now. Go! Get them rooms now!" And everyone grabs them, puts them, like gets them up, gets them over to their own isolated rooms so they could sit there and rest. The rest that they need to wait out the 12 hours. Everyone waits outside with bated breath. The three of you stand there and wait as Uncle Cassius is down in his workshop working on the second half of the potion. The thing that's supposed to help draw the curse out and give them back their powers. The time seems like forever, even though he only had a few hours left. It is a sleepless night. But finally, as dawn starts to break on the horizon, Lord Cassius of Aeolian walks up to you, and hands you a potion. Walks to you, hands you a potion. These are the other halves of the potions. One by one we will check. Ashrin, you first. Follow me. And you two enter the room where Lord Emery Fairnight is staying. He is completely passed out at this point. His body just gave way to how tired he was. You notice that the bright light is now really small and really dull. You have to, you remove his shirt just to kind of fully check everything. Luckily, he didn't take too much damage from the escape as well. So in this rest, his wounds are starting to heal up fairly nice as well. And you notice, with it being as small as it is, he holds up his hand, seeing that his hand can fully cover where the mark is. The potion is taken. Quick, wake him up. Is it working? You feed him the potion right away. And he drinks the potion. He just like grabs it and he chugs it. And you watch as the light dulls and dulls until finally the spot sucks into itself and evaporates out of his skin into the air. And an interesting mark of beauty, giving an outline of red gem dust as kind of a physical representation that this curse has been pulled. You watch as he blinks once, he blinks twice. You notice the fangs reappear again. The silver in his hair, the platinum silver, that is the trait of the Dampier family, starts to set back into him. Uncle Cassius looks over at you. It's going to take some time. He needs to heal. But the gem dust means that this curse has been broken. At least for now. And I'm assuming you're going to stay with him as he rests.
I'm going to turn into a cat again.
Turn into a cat?
Just like curl up.
There you are. You just...
I'm just going to like purr in his ear.
You just scritch him behind the ears. He walks out. And you notice that he looks relieved. Come, Na'ria. Let's do this for Avery. Now, unlike Emery, who the curse was set in way worse, Emery's sitting in bed. Avery's sitting in bed.
She's like, she's not crooked
Avery's
right
sitting
now.
in bed. He slept without his shirt on just to make sure that the spot was exposed. And you notice, just like hers, that it's smaller than it was before and it's dim. And you don't see the tendrils anymore. He walks up and places his hand on it. The palm print covers the spot. The poison's taken. Or the potion is taken. Avery, please let her feed it to me.
Then I go ahead and I feed it to him.
He drinks it and he's like, he looks over at you and
roll
he just...
my eyes a little bit and do it. I'm like, okay.
I figured he needed a laugh at least.
This is not the sweetest nectar I've ever tasted.
No, it's not. And you watch as the wound starts to suck into itself. And then culminates into a series of, this time, green gem dust. He looks and he sees the green gem dust. I've never seen this before. And he grabs the book he had and he looks for what a green gem dust means. And he sighs of relief when he sees the green gem dust. Red gem dust means that the curse has been removed, but there's a possibility to come back. Green means he's in the clear for good.
Well, that's not fair for her then.
It took really bad.
Oh, okay. I was like,
but because the
Oh, okay.
As a DM, I'll explain for a moment. His had set in so bad that when it starts to show up again, they'll have to do it a second time.
And then it'll be
But because they know how to do it, when it starts to show up the second time, they can knock it out immediately. So it's kind of like, when you take care of the flu immediately, compared to when you are super sick with the flu, you get better and then you get it a second time until it finally gets out of your system. That's because
It's like a Band-Aid on it.
It basically, well...
For now.
Okay, I got it. Anyway.
It's like the first 5 days of antibiotics have set in.
Okay.
It could take a few years, it could take a decade and a half for it to show back, but now you know what to do. When it starts to show up again, make up the potion, and you'll be good to go.
Okay, and...
He's in the clear. We caught it before it needed subsequent uses. And he looks, and he's like... He's laughing because he knows it's not true. But he's like, see, I told you it would be fine. Do you walk out or are you going to stay in?
No, I'll stay.
Stay in with him.
Make sure he's okay.
As he walks out and announces to the rest of the group that the Fairnights are making a recovery. The whole refuge from Ivanora sighs a breath of relief. They did it. They escaped. There were no casualties. And the Fairnights, while maybe needing some subsequent healing, are safe for now. We fast forward a few days. As a few days have gone by, the refugees have started to disperse into some local town lodging and inns in order to kind of settle in as they realize the next part of their journey. Lord Cassius makes a decree explaining what has happened in the neighboring, what happened up north in the city of Ivanora, explaining that Ivanora has fallen, but that those who have survived will take shelter here as they start to rebuild their lives. As you kind of watch everyone start to move on, it is an early morning a few days later where you get a knock on your guys' door. Hey, it's me.
I'm here.
Yeah. Na'ria, can I talk to you for a moment?
Yeah, sure.
And he
Do I
steps
go
out.
out there or is he gonna come? Oh, he's gonna...
You go out there.
Oh, okay.
You turn to Avery's like... Avery's still kind of recovering from it because it takes a lot out of you. He's kind of bandaged up where that was, and also he took some damage in the escape as well. But you just kind of been tending to him, staying close to him, and he's like, I know you'll be safe, but just stay safe. And you go out with Rinnill. Okay, just give me a moment. And he knocks on your door. Ashrin, can I talk to you for a moment? It's Rinnill. Yeah. Emery is asleep, but the recovery is going well. Each day more and more energy shows. He takes you guys out to the main kind of chamber of the castle at Eolian. And you notice that he has a pack on him.
Leaving.
Yeah.
Where? Where to?
Wherever people need help. Look, you guys have people here to tend to, at least for the time being. I've been having dreams. Dreams of people that need help now. So I'm going to go see who needs help.
Will you just come back to visit?
Of course I'm going to. In fact, and you watch as he pulls out a small silver wire. He wraps it on one end, and he wraps it on the other end, and he puts it to his mouth. You don't hear anything, but you hear in your head, I'm only just a message away. It doesn't matter how far I'll be. I'll just keep checking in. And he pulls the wire away and throws it out, grabs another wire, puts it up. You don't hear anything, but you hear, as I told her, so I gotta count it because it's sending. As I told her, I'm just a message away. I will always make sure to keep tabs. And then he pulls it away. Luckily with that...
Reply to this message.
Yeah, you can reply to this message.
Was that what?
It's what Jester
It's what
uses.
Jester does.
Well, no, Caleb and Not did.
Caleb and Not have
They
message.
They have cup things.
No, so they use a wire. I'm just using that just for the sake of, like,
They use
it's a spell
message,
component.
He's using sending.
Clerics get sending, which is what Jester has.
Oh.
But sending has a distance range, but you can send a longer message. Sending has no range, as long as you know the person.
Well, it's not has to do with this. I'll ask after that.
Yeah. So, and it doesn't matter how far away I am. I'll honestly just keep checking in with you guys. And who's to say that I'm not going to need some extra help when I find something that's a little too out of my depth. But you guys have people to take care of, at least right now. Take care of them. And I'll keep tabs. Now, just know I'm not going to be messaging you like every few hours. I'll check in every few days.
We're not your parents.
No, I don't feel like I need to check in with you guys every day. So, I've already let the Fairnights know. Or at least Lord Cassius. And I'm certain you'll let them know too. And he gives you a hug.
I was about to say, if he doesn't do it, I was gonna go right up
He
and
gives
give
you
him
a hug. And then he goes and gives you a hug.
And like the awkward.
The awkward hug.
I'm gonna do the tight hug thing.
The tight hug.
No, don't go, but I know you have to go.
I'm not going to be gone for too long. I want to miss you guys anyway, so I'm going to want to come back whenever I can. So.
Tell us stories.
Oh, you know I'm going to have plenty of stories. And then you hear behind him, Rinnill, you ready to go? Well, my party needs me.
Oh, he's with TK.
Yeah.
I must send him off with some gold, just in case.
Okay. You send him, give him a pack. You didn't have to, but I thank you. And then you see, out of nowhere, this tiefling just throw his arm around Rinnill. Come on! We got some people to go save! It's like, well, alright. See you guys later. He's like, do you really have to make a spectacle out of anything? Well, yeah. I mean, you fucking see me? Trust me, I've had to see you every moment of every day these last few days. And the barkeep is like, well, you have seen him way longer. Yeah, but I don't count those times. And as the four of them leave to go help Rinnill on his vision quest to see who needs help next. And as Na'ria and Ashran help nurse back to health the remaining members of the Fairnight family. This is where our story concludes. So that was it, guys. That was my way because, you gave it 3 chances, so we're done after that. It gives you away.
I gotta ask though.
Mm-hmm.
That painting that she got in last session, who was it again that she got the painting of that she took from the original?
Is that
game?
Avery?
That was
Is
Avery.
this Avery?
That was Avery Fairnight. That was Avery Fairnight that you took the painting for.
Not to be weird or anything, but I'm fawning over your picture.
I took
Yeah, you took the painting.
I took the painting before.
Yeah, it was Avery Fairnight. Yeah.
Oh, I know exactly who you are. I know every feature in your face.
I love it. I love it so much. But yeah, so that was the Fairnight story, man. So
Story man.
the story, man.
Storyman
Happily ever after.
Storyman here.
Everyone lives
So that means any future one-shots are going to deal with 4 bumblefucks as they help a cleric on his fucking vision quest.
I hope the cleric gets something good. Or like
He
gets
could get a
something-
vampire boyfriend of his
Yeah.
own. You never know.
He should be happy.
Boyfriend,
I
girlfriend.
like to think like a tough, like half-elven woman who could probably
Yeah.
step on him, and he'd totally
Probably?
and okay,
She would.
She would
Clerics
step
are
on him.
squishy, yo.
She would step
She's
on him,
gonna.
and he would totally be okay with it.
She's gonna step on him.
He appreciates helping dampiers, but like as far as sexual things, like that's not his deal.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not gonna bite into that.
wow. Okay. I see how that works. Anyway.
Anywho.
So thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope you guys enjoyed. In light of there not being episode 13, we just found out the quarantine's going to be extended a little longer, so we'll kind of see what next month may look like as far as homebrewers.
And now I get to plan for my one shot.
And now you get to plan for your one shot, so I will have to help you out. So thank you all so much. I know it's a weird time right now for everyone, but I do want to say thank you for sticking with us if you've been watching this. We promise that the campaign proper will continue as soon as we're able to get everyone out here. We want everyone to be safe. And with the extension of the quarantine, we've got people like Suya that are like, this sucks, but we got to do what we got to do.
And we got people that
And we got,
have underlying issues
yeah.
on normal days.
Yes.
This
So
just makes it worse.
we just need to stay safe and take care of one another. So
Food time.
it is time to eat, my guys. So
Dinner time.
thank you guys so much for joining us. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We all love you, and we will catch you guys later.
Killings, bye!
Thanks for giving me a hot boyfriend.
No problem. We love you guys. See you later.